Hello everyone and welcome back to Laurence Plays Factorio Space Exploration. Let's have a quick recap before we get properly started. So, at the end of the last episode, I was messing around with energy science here. So I increased the amount of cooling that was being done of the thermofluids here by whacking in this massive grate wide area beacon to cover all this area. I improved the amount of power that was being generated, and then much more excitingly, up here I put in all of the things needed to make Energy Science 3. And Energy Science 3 was actually fairly straightforward. So these two were just this one was just taking in the proton streams that I was already making. This one, okay, granted, this one required a couple of extra things. It required the holmium cables and the cryonite. That's the word. So I had to feed those in here, and then this one was just what even was this? Oh, sorry, this one was those two. This one was taking in the blue clouds, the ion streams, and then this one was taking in pink clouds, which I was making from. Okay, this one required a few extra steps and a bit more work to make it. But basically, it was all pretty straightforward. However, I have noticed there are a few throughput problems here, shall we say. So I'm going to need to come along and put in. I'm going to need to start generating a lot more of this green cloud stuff. So I need to put in another particle accelerator here. And I noticed while I was looking back over it that I'm not making this lightning bolt data. What is this? Conductivity data or anything like fast enough. So I think I need at least 2 more of these. And I could module them, but I think it's probably easier just to put in another couple of those. So that will then flow up here. We can then get this one running full speed. This one is okay. This one's got everything it needs. And then up here, we need to boost this, which is where we need to boost. Actually, both of these ones could do with some boosting, but that's where the extra green clouds are going to come from. So let's get that done to start with. And then I can come back over here and finish off in that corner as well. Just get the science actually flowing. So once the parts coming in are actually available, then I can start using them properly and actually generating the science packs. I had a quick look at the fourth tier of energy science as well between episodes, and that doesn't require too much extra stuff. We've got here come the bots. I will need to go off to and put down some sort of star what do we call it? Send out star probes in order to get one of the things I need for that tier of science. But most of it is reasonably straightforward. So let's see, let's take 2 of those because I can just tell it's not going to be enough. And then I need these electromagnetic facilities. They are. I'm going to need some of them as well. I've got a decent number of modules, and I do have some beacons that I can always use if I decide it's worth it. And I've got a load of the this stuff as well. So that should let me get this up and running, I think. We'll find out. Is it this one? Is it this one? Oh, I'm probably going to need some more solar panels as well. To be honest, I haven't played enough recently, so I've sort of forgotten why I was doing things. So, yes, probably. I mean, I've definitely been wanting the better computers for quite a while now, so I think this might be a good opportunity to get those up and running. But I'd sort of forgotten that was what I was aiming for. I was, you know how it is. You do science for the sake of doing science a lot of the time, don't you? Let's tidy these pylons up while I'm now to put in the big substation thing. Not because they need to go, but just because it looks a bit neater and tidier and makes it easier to think if there aren't pylons everywhere, sort of distracting me. Okay, so that's going to need this stuff. So that isn't going to reach, so put that there, I suppose, and then that there. Dumpty dumpty dum. Now, the question is, I can do this certainly, but the question is, will this one pass it through here and back around to these pipes? I'm not sure enough to try to risk it, so I'm going to put in this as well, just to make absolutely certain that it gets the green clouds get passed around where they're needed. Then I need some of that and some power and some inserters for that. Oh, I suppose if I'm doing that, then I could just bring this up here like that. There we go. And this definitely needs, all right, maybe not 4 of them. Definitely need some of these. So there we go. That's taking me down to minus 40%. And these things use so much power that it's worth pulling that down a bit if I can. And I bet that's put me... Oh, no, it hasn't actually put me over the top yet. Okay, that's good. So this is running happily. That's filling up. That's emptying out. Good. So we're now putting a bit more of the green cloud into this pipe. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I feel like it should work, and it seems to cause enough problems when you touch 2 of them together that it looks like it's working, but I just don't really trust it, I guess. Okay, so that's coming up here, where this is where the green cloud, the proton stream, gets used up. Yes, I saw that. I saw that picture on Reddit. That was amazing, horrifying, but also amazing. Now the question is, are we generating it faster than it's being used? And the answer appears to be no. Although actually all 4 machines are now working. I said all 4 machines are now working, but no, that one has stopped. Okay, I think I need a 3rd machine down there, even with the speed modules in it. Now maybe actually this is the sort of thing that would probably benefit quite significantly from a beacon and some modules. So let's fill in this area down here like this, and then I'll put down one of my valuable beacons in here. Now, do I want to get that? Yes, if I put it here, then I can get all of this stuff, and I can just fill this up. Well, let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that wasn't what I meant to do at all. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. How are we doing for amount of power used now? Minus 80%. Okay, so we've minimized. That's hit minimum. In that case, I need to put in at least 1 more speed module in there. Minus 30%. Minus 70%. Okay, that'll do. So this should now be running quite a lot faster. I feel like that might be... I don't really know. I'm going to put in another one of those. I brought down 2 for a reason. So let's just put in another of these. In fact, let's use the bots. That's what they're for. There we go. So that with the beacon here, that should be more than enough. I think I've taken the speed up now to 3.4 times the normal speed. So I think that should give me enough of a boost. Yeah, there we go. You can see the there's actually a trace amount staying in the bottom of the pipes, even between the spikes. So I think that's now good. Oh, even without that, there we go. Now it'll be even better. Yeah, the asteroid guy is incredible. He'd done energy 1 in order to try and get all of the things he was going to need in order to get trains, so he could start expanding off to other asteroids, and then he's just going to go from there. So yeah, that was very, very impressive. I hope he posts more screenshots of that, because that was, yeah, just ridiculous. And also I advertised my channel on his post a bit as well, and I don't know, I think I got a couple of subscribers from that, so it was worth doing. Yes, I'm a little bit mercenary sometimes. I'm not sorry. No, about that much, and then I'll correct it afterwards. So that goes there. But that doesn't exist. That goes there. These probably should have a couple more modules in them, like another one of them and a couple of them. And the same for this one. I think a couple of efficiency modules and a couple of speed modules is probably about right. We have run out of electricity, which is a pain, but I can deal with that soon. I think I'm going to put in another one of these, actually, just because I know it's been very, very short of everything it needs, and I'm going to have to go and get some more electricity. Oh, and some more of these coolie things, because I've noticed this cool thermofluid is not staying filled up. Yeah, he did sound like he was planning to try and go all the way with that new base. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how it goes. How are these on power? These are at minus 80% already, so I can't improve them. As of these, I think I'm going to need to get some more solar panels for this area, because We just don't. Oh, we do now actually have enough juice. But it's hitting that. It's hitting that top there, and that's definitely an upwards trend. Yeah, I think it's probably. And hopefully, if I do that, by the time oh, this is running low as well. By the time I get back, why is this running low? I don't think there's any actual good reason apart from it hasn't been moduled. If I grab these in my hand, and, yes, this does work. I thought it did. Right, that should now be cheaper on the power front, and faster as well. Yes, we've got plus 80% speed there, so hopefully that'll now be able to keep up. These seem to be flowing out much faster, and apart from when it's doing an awkward autosave. These pipes next to each other? It's because these are long space pipes. So the long one, these short ones, if I put another one of these next to it, they would join as you're used to. But these long ones are single piece that don't do side connections. So they're there to allow you to do long pipe runs a bit cheaper, and they also conveniently allow you to run them right next to each other without them connecting. A bit like you can run underground pipes next to each other without them connecting, like here. Okay. This does, I mean, actually, to be fair, this does seem to be going about fast enough at the moment. We have sufficient quantity of these, so I suspect even now that we've got more of them, we're probably going to be okay on everything, because I think this probably was just about running quickly enough. And this is about to hit max capacity anyway, so we're, I don't think there's too much of a concern with the, what do you call it, with the tier 1 science there. So let's go and have another look at the tier 2 was running happily, and actually looking at this, they're not coming out of here quite as quickly as I might like them to, but there does seem to be about sufficient. Maybe I should, yeah, let's module these ones as well, just because I'm doing it. I seem to be doing this everywhere, and it's a good way of making sure things don't run out. Oh, I suppose they probably do, because it's less pipe entities. Yes, that wouldn't surprise me now you mention it. Is this? Yes, there we go. This is now building up, because if it wasn't, this would have run down all the way down here, just past the final inserter on that side. So all of these machines are running now. We have enough of the what I'm still calling panda science, even though I'm pretty sure it's not actually a panda, that it should just work. Okay, so I think that has sorted out the problems I was having here. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's not full by any means, but it's doing better. It is gradually filling up, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. The ion stream, again, it's not as full as I would ideally like, but it is filling up. Why are you stopped? Why are you stopped? So it needs blank data. Oh, it's full of. Oh. Ah, I see what I've done wrong. There we go. Now it's happy. Now it's running. So that's definitely going to make sure I don't run out of even as this is the entanglement data, so I've got loads of that available now. Good. Okay, I think that yes, I think everything over here is probably all right. I know that's also all sort of famous last words and stuff, and I'll probably come back and find it's all on fire or something. And somehow it'll have found a way to burn even in the vacuum of space. But I'm prepared to give it a moment or two and just see how things go. So the next job is down here, is to get prepared for the parts to come in. So this is all basically ready. We've got a slot on this belt down here. Was it? You might be right. I better go and check that, because yeah, it could well be they I did just put those in without really thinking about it, just going, yeah, this will be fine, join them all together. And there's always that little bit of space in the pipes when you put them down. Was it here? I think it was here. Yes, here we go. Yeah, you're quite right. I need to have that and that. There we go. Now it reaches. It's that problem where it pours into the pipe, so everything starts running again. You go, yeah, that looks fine, it's all working, and then you realise actually it's not fine. And having come back here, I also seem to have run out of the green clouds again. So what's going on there? Maybe I've run out of. Yes, it's the old thing. You solve one shortage and it just pushes it back a step, and you discover there's another one. Now, as I remember, oh yes, this is worse than I remembered. we're having problems here because we've actually run out of the chemical gel. Yes, I forgot about this. I was having a bit of a look through the things that I needed to go in and fix, and I spotted a couple, and then I promptly forgot one of them afterwards because that's about how well my memory works. So what turns out, what's going on here is if we look over here in the sorry if that's disorientating. This station here, right? Yes, this chemical gel tanks are not filling up quickly enough, and that is because here there is insufficient petroleum gas. Look in there. Yeah, the petroleum gas is taking ages to fill up again. And the reason for that, having a look up here, is because we've got full heavy oil and light oil tanks and empty petroleum gas tanks. So essentially the problem is that these cracking facilities are not as cracking as I would like them to be. So let's see, is there... Yeah, there's a decent amount of room here. There we go, tidy that up a little bit as I go. So, I need to put in... Now I'm going to assume, and this is probably a dangerous assumption, I'm going to assume for now that it's the light oil processing that's cracking that's the problem. I'm also going to pull up that RoboPork that's in the way. Let's see if I put that like that. Who designed this? This is horrible. Don't let me forget to replace that, or I'm going to run out of thermofluid and be very sad. No, hang on. What? Oh yeah, yes, it's thermofluid. I'll run out of. Okay, so we need to put in another one of these like that. Run a pipe to there, and now I need to get water down here, which isn't too difficult. And I need to get light oil down here, but I need to get specifically this light oil. Yes, because this is the one that's being pumped. So we've got the what I'm going to do is bring this across to here and bring it down on this side of it. Because this one is being pumped, so I don't want to take it straight from here, because this is on the input side of this pump. The light oil is created by the coal liquefaction here, goes up this pipe into this tank, and then if the tank is full, this pump pushes it all the way round here. You know what? I'm going to tidy this up a bit. Make it slightly less horrible. Only slightly, but slightly. Pull this pipe up now, get it out of the way. There we go. So that's now fed to here and to here. This needs power as well, of course. We've got the outputs. Right, I don't have any water. That's also problematic. Now the water should come from ice melting. Should be a machine somewhere here that melts the ice. There's a steam boiler. Am I actually sleep? I'm sleep. Oh, that's an electric boiler. Gotcha. Right. So why are you not? Oh, we've run out of ice. That's weird. Oh, such a. It's always the way with this thing. You find one problem and then you start tracing it backwards and you find there's another problem and another problem and another problem and so on. And in this case, yes, so we've run out of ice. Let's have a look on frost and see if we can work out why the ice isn't being flown there. So I bet this is run out. We've run out of rocket parts on frost. That's interesting. There isn't. That's an oversight. There's meant to be a landing pad here that will take where I can send rockets with all of the bits for making rockets out of too. So in other words, I'll fly out fly a rocket full of rocket parts here, and then it'll turn it into into rockets. This is clearly not happening. I do, yes, but in theory, each planet should have one landing pad that's just named after the planet, so I have somewhere safe to fly in when I want to go somewhere by rocket, and then a second one for the actual parts, and that's what this should be. Except clearly that's not happening. I think I'm going to. what I'm going to do is rename this one and have this be my my landing pad for rocketry nonsense, for rocket parts. And next time I come out here, I'll come by spaceship, because hopefully by then I'll have a sufficiently fast and powerful and everything spaceship. Let's have a think about this first, because this is going to want to unload into these chests. Now over here we've got this one. Let's just make sure everything's going to go somewhere sensible. So the packed rocket sections are going to end up here. The individual rocket sections are going to end up here, and the cargo pods are going to end up here. So that seems to be okay. So I think, yes, I can just drop a rocket in here with all of the rocket parts in it, and it will all play nicely. I'm going to check that my one on Norvis isn't set to launch, because I don't want the one from Norvis to go, because as you said, I need to get rid of all the ones on. Yeah, that's disabled. Good. No, yeah, manual launch. Excellent. Okay, so if I go back to Frost, I think yes, I'm just going to set this to be a rocket part drop, whatever it's called. Rocket parts drop, not Ganymede one. Rocket parts drop like that. Now a rocket should appear almost immediately. Yes, there we go. Rocket inbound. We're only in Frost. We're not a million miles away, so hopefully it'll land nicely. It'll play nicely with others, as they say. I'm just going to keep an eye on it because I'm already here, and the rockets are pretty quick to fly. Pretty quick to fly. Yeah, pods are fine. I've got pods out and loading separately into this chest, and there's some in here. There are pods around, so I don't think it's too much of a worry. Hopefully there'll be enough space to unload this completely, but it's not the end of the world if there isn't, and there isn't. There clearly isn't. But I don't actually care at this point. I think that's going to be all right. I'm going to leave that called rocket parts drop because I want them just to keep coming in. Yeah, I think it should be okay because of that bit basically. So yes, hopefully. Now we can make this blooming ice rocket that okay, so that one, there's a glass one there that's built. There we go. There's an ice rocket. So that it needs to load up though, and that's going to take an age because it's just being filled by. It's a blue belt, so it's reasonably quick, but yeah, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a long time to fill up. Oh, good grief. Yeah, okay. That will indeed take a while. This one has had the thing where it goes wrong, and oh bloody hell. Oh, these ones aren't wired up to those ones right. That's a fail. That's a big fail. I need to wire them up before I sort of try and fix this. Yeah, it's going to be a while till it loads all of that up, but never mind. I mean, I'm not in any great hurry. What I am annoyed about is that... Can I take that out? I think I can, and the bots will take it away. Yes, there we go. And I think I need to do it again. That's interesting. There's a way of taking stuff out from a building and having it just sort of appear on the... Oh, there we go. Yeah, having it do that, basically. So now, hopefully, that's going to start loading in the rocket sections as they come past. Yes, it is. Good. Okay, so that's fixed. And shouldn't happen again. Okay, good. So that's that one. This one is going to, as we discussed, that's going to take ages to fill up. But c'est la vie. I'm not gonna launch it. Yeah, I mean, I could make water on Norvis instead of here. It would be exactly the same process. There's water and there's cryonite available here, so it would just be a case of yes, I could put in another column like this, and the acid and the cryonite slush making as well, and so on, and make it in a slightly larger scale. But I don't see any real need to do it on Norvis rather than here. This is where the cryonite already is, so there's no point in shipping it more than once. There goes the cryonite. What I could do and in the future will probably end up doing is having a spaceship with a load of liquid tanks in it that will just fill up with, actual water and transport that rather than messing around with ice, and just have it transport water and probably transport oil as well from one place to another. That's going to be a little bit easier, I reckon. But for now, ice is what we have. Ice is what we're going to use. It's done 3 rows already. It's not going to be that long in the whole grand scheme of things. Hey George, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Okay. So this isn't going anywhere for a while because, as we've just been discussing, we've run out of ice. So that's rather frustrating. So what I nearly forgot that heavy oil. You're supposed to remind me about the heavy oil guys. Let's bring that down to here and then across like this. There we go. There we go, rather. Okay, so now we can carry on making the thermofluid. So that's that one sorted. That isn't going to be broken. This, well, as I say, it's just going to have to wait. We're going to get little bits of petroleum gas coming through as we use the oils for other things that don't require water. Thank you, Tristan. Just in time. Yeah, as we're using little bits of the heavy and light oil, we are doing little bits of processing here. So we are making again the little bits of petroleum gas. So we are making very very gradually making the chemical gel. So we've now got up to 3,000, almost 3,000 over here. Now, one thing I did notice, which is going to be a bit of a mistake making itself very very welcome, is that when I put down the energy science, which is this one, let's not overshoot. When I started building this originally, I put in this. I'm not even sure why, but it does mean I've got 22,000 chemical gel up here, just asking to have something done with it. The question is, how on earth do I get it somewhere useful? Because there's all of these belts up here. Maybe I bring it along. Yeah, I'll probably bring it in about here, I think. Oop. Something like that, maybe. That's not quite right, but it'll do. Okay, so underground pipe first because I haven't left room for anything else. Then we'll put in a pump. Pump. Because I just want to take it away. I just want to drain these tanks so I can take them away, really. Then we're going to need another. Then we need some more piping, like that. Putting a pylon to power the pump. Lots of P's. I hope my microphone doesn't pick up my p sounds too particularly powerfully. But it's a problem you'll have to put up with, I'm afraid. Yes, that was entirely deliberate. That's a good point. Train would be the easiest way to move it. Yeah, alright, let's do that. I've got halfway through, but it's still probably easier to bring a train over. Right, let's find me a train. What's this called? This is Thermofluid Drop Energy Science. Liquid train, liquid train, liquid train. Go to... Blimey. Thermofluid Drop Energy Science. And wait until full. Then go to... What's it going to be called? It's going to be in here somewhere. Chemical gel drop-off energy sci. Chemical gel drop-off energy science and wait until empty. Right, how's it doing? It's not filling up. Oh, there's probably some funny business on these pumps. Just be enabled. I don't care. Nothing equals nothing. Does that pump? Let's just disconnect it. There we go. Right. Oh yeah, I sort of intellectually I know that. In practice I just tend to keep forgetting it. This isn't going to be quite a train full, is it? It's going to be about 24. I thought it was going to be 24,000, but no, apparently not. 20. 20,000? They'll keep it running for a while. Mine. No. Plunk. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. You go there. So this will now come up here, and drop off that chemical gel, and then everything should be happy again, at least for a little while. I don't know how far the 20,000 chemical gel is going to. Blimey, that was quick. 20,000 chemical gel is going to go, but it'll at least let all of these kick in for a little while, and make some more plasma stream for me. And hopefully that'll allow everything to start sort of just gradually ticking over once again. Now I've noticed this isn't going fast enough anymore. This was full before and doesn't seem to be anymore. There seems to be, it's just a sort of an endless cycle of me going, oh, I've run out of this, oh, I've run out of that, and going out and just tidying things up. Yes, the chemical station down the bottom, I think, I hope. Oh no, it hasn't. There we go. Thank you. I thought it had just I'd completely deactivated it, but apparently not. And this one presumably is still requesting. Yes, it is still requesting chem gel. Right. So we are now making. How quickly is this going down? Okay, not too quickly. There's still 17,000, and I could believe that 2,000 has gone into just filling up all of these pipes and buffers and things. So that seems to be working quite well now. We don't have very much building up in this tank, so we're not really making this fast enough. Let's put some more modules in it all. See if that helps. And that's going to give it an extra 40% speed boost. I'm going to put in some more solar panels as well, because I've noticed I basically just don't have enough power over here. If I could click and drag in a straight line, that would be rather nice. But I can't. If I remember to use bots in advance, that'd also be nice, but yeah, what can you do? I keep forgetting I need to upgrade these, although that said, I now have enough thermofluid there, so I seem to have filled up at least the buffer in these pipes. So that's probably just because everything else has ground to a halt, because I ran out of plasma stream. But looking along here, things seem vaguely happy. These are being produced fast enough. Let's look up. How about green cloud? That was the original reason I started doing all of this. There's not enough. Right, okay, so the plasma stream isn't filling up here yet, so this is not currently sufficient for the demands I'm putting on it, which is a bit crazy because there's a huge number of these machines producing it, and I've moduled them up quite significantly. The ion stream is also struggling, but that could be because there's not enough on the inputs. Actually, it's not, because all of these are full. Right. Okay, time to put down another beacon, I think. If I put it in here, then it'll hit quite a lot of these machines around here, and that'll help quite a bit. As usual, I'm going to put in 7 of those and 8 of those. So these are now, so the ones that aren't affected are running at 1.4 times speed, and the ones that are running at 2.8, so literally twice as fast. So that's giving me an extra, well, it's double the amount of the speed they're running at, and we're at 80% limit. Okay, let's put in another speed in here then, and do that as well. That should make everything a bit faster and a bit more efficient. So these are still, these are still at minus 80%, so I'm happy with that. These are at minus 32, minus 70%, so that's pretty good. But is it enough? Is it enough? That's the question. Well, that's got up to 50, and is now spiraling all the way back down to 0 again. I really don't know. Maybe I need to put in another one of these here. And I feel like I need to replace the machine, the one of these that I pulled up as well. So let's do that. So that's a copy of all of that, I suppose. Put that there. And that there, I suppose. That should work, he says curiously and uncertainly. Yes, it's filling up with plasma stream relatively slowly. Okay. So that's why I now put in another one of these here to get as much of this as possible. In fact, let's just... rather than messing around with modules myself, let's have the bots do it. So I want to go there. There we go. Chemical gel is... that's plasma. Chemical gel, I can't see because it's all the way over here, is it's still at 14,000, so it's going down rather quickly, but not unmanageably so. Those are all linked together, good. And these are all running. Most of them at the sort of a pretty good speed. Triple the normal speed, in fact. Yeah, I think that's all I can do here unless I come along or rather until I come along and put in a load more of these plasma generators. But I think I'm going to leave this now for a bit and just see how it gets on. Okay, so let's go off and do what I was going to do over in the science area, and then come back and have another look at it. Here's my delicious sushi belt. I'm still proud of that. Okay, so over here we have Energy Science 1 being made, pumped down this belt up here to be made into Energy Science 2, comes around here to be up this belt to be made into Energy Science 3, along with the insights, the significant data, the holmium solenoids, which are the funky extra component you need for this particular one, and then this half of this belt is reserved for the tier 3 catalogs when they're finally ready and they come flooding in. So the Science 3 will pour out on this belt. We've got the standard sort of funky arrangement of splitters here to make most so they can flow off both towards the science factory, the research labs rather, and also be passed around here and then up here to go into the Science 4 machine over here. And so this belt brings them around here. It filters out the junk data cards here, which will then go onto here to be passed away back into the rest of the system. And we then need a long belt coming from here, essentially all the way along parallel to this belt. Why am I not flying? Flying is quicker. Let's fly. I think I can probably go underneath that. That shouldn't be a problem. I can hopefully go underneath that and it won't be a problem. Squeeze through here. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. I think I can get a belt through there. And then I believe it goes into this one. In fact, I'm virtually certain it goes into this one. So let's run the belt the other way because I might as well. So that was in there, that one's in there. Let's see how well we get on just dragging it and letting the game sort it out. Not very well is the answer. I was fairly sure it was going to break at some point. I have to admit I wasn't sure where. Okay, we'll pass it through here instead then. Yep, that looks good. That's fine. I can go underneath that. All the way over here to there. And then up to there. Right. Done. And that will carry number 4 as well, because this science manufactory here is for producing Space Science 4. So once we're ready to start making... I hate this sometimes. Take all this junk out of my inventory. Right. There we go, like that. So this has to... This needs to go there, probably. This one then needs to go here. Oh dear. The spaghetti is spaghetting. Spaghetting worse. Mm, um, um, I don't want to bring it out on the other side because I want to have 2 belts on either side for this, because we can still feed that one up there like that in a nice, simple, sensible way, and then feed the tier 4 and whatever else up here like that. So I want to do both of these on this side. What if I do this? Does that make things better? Does that make things worse? Probably makes things worse. I still have exactly the same problem. Ooh, if I do that, there we go. Massive spaghetti time. Are you proud of me or disgusted with me? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. There we go. That'll work like that. Hey Daniel, welcome to the stream. I'm currently I'm currently waiting for the game to save. I'm currently beating my head against the spaghetti of trying to get a science pack I'm not even doing yet, wound and tangled up into my into my facilities. So that's now done, he says with very audible quote marks around it. I'm just going to come over here and sanity check this to make sure I haven't got it wrong, because I'll feel silly if I have. So it runs over to here, and then you, yes, that's energy science 4. So presumably that's energy science 3, yes. And that belts oh right, that goes through here like that. And is this splitter? Yes, okay, so that's all correct. Good. Yeah, I had space to the left. I could have put a third belt in over there and put in another long-handled inserter with an underground belt and passed out over here. I could have shifted the whole thing across to the left a little bit. This, whilst it's dirty and hideous and horrible, and I'm very, very sorry, felt easier at the time. One thing I've noticed, which I found quite interesting, I've gone over this in a video, but I'm going to talk about it again because I found it quite interesting. Is the number is what these machines spit out when as they run, but based on the tier they're running at. So if I search for insights, the first recipe for them spits out blank data cards. The second recipe spits out blank data cards. Simple. You don't need to change anything for that. It just works as long as you put the extra input in. The third one doesn't do anything with blank data cards. So again, that'll just work. I've still got the same belt here, which isn't taking any blank data cards away, but the splitter at the end is there to filter them out. Then the fourth one takes in blank data cards because it makes so many insights. You need to give it more catalogs for the conservation of data cards, which is definitely a thing and not just an expression I made up. So yeah, when you go from tier 3 to tier 4 insight generation, you need to reverse your entire blank data card handling system. Now it's not going to be too bad on the individual level. I just put in another belt across here like this and feed in the blank data cards along it with a long handled inserter. That's pretty simple. That's going to be easy. The problem is that then that means this is then going to want this station to be a drop-off station instead of a pickup station. So at this point you then start wanting the data cards to flow into this facility instead of out of it, and that's fine. That's not too difficult as long as you don't have any of these other ones still running on tier 2, where they're actually spitting out the data card still, and then you'd have to do some sort of weird, horrible balancing act between the two, and probably get at least one more belt in there. And oh my god, I've gone cross-eyed, as the saying goes. So yeah, what I plan to do is essentially get them all up to well, basically, I want to get them all to level 3 before I increase any of them to level 4, and I think that's okay because you don't actually need them to be running at tier 4 in order to do the tier 4 science. So even if one of them is lagging behind, it just means I'm being slightly less efficient with the production of insights. Daniel, to answer the question, I'm pretty sure they're all exactly the same. Here we go. Produces data cards, no data cards, gives out data cards. Bio produces, nothing, takes in. Yeah, so I think they're all but they all run off basically the same recipes at this point. The systems are all exactly the same. The only real difference is the color of the parts that go in and the shenanigans you have to get up to with the exotic material. So in this case, the beryllium plates get turned into beryllium poles and then beryllium scaffolds, and then eventually into the hull plate things, I think. The other ones do it slightly differently. This one makes holmium cables, holmium solenoids, and biological is significantly more complicated beyond that. So they're all fairly similar. The recipes are basically the same. So the idea is that you can sort of swap back and forth. You have the choice initially of whether you want to go broad or deep with your research. I went broad. I did all four of them to tier 1, then I did all four to tier 2, and now I'm starting on tier 3 of, well, I've done two of them to tier, well, one and a half of them to tier 3. The alternative, which you can do, is go all in on one of them. So you could go through and do all of Astro, all four of Astro first, then go and do all four of Energy, and so on. That is an option. I don't think it's as good an option, to be honest, because the stuff you get to research, I think, is probably you're probably better off doing it with the doing it going broad rather than deep, because you get you get more useful stuff more quickly that way. Yes, I do want to do these. You're quite right. Was it Peter who said that? Um, I can't remember. I can't remember. Scroll, scroll, scroll. No, I'm not scrolling all the way up. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to work towards these now. It's just a case of I need to wait for the energy science packs over here, which we're not making any of at the moment for random hateful reasons, because we're not making enough green clouds, because we don't have enough orange clouds, because these things are working their little cotton socks off, and it's just not generating enough for everything else. Okay. I, yeah, I'm going to need to expand this plasma generation. That's a pain. And they're okay. They're being made very, very slowly, but I need to get this up to, what is it, 350 in each of them. Oh, okay. If you can't go the whole way, all right. But you could presumably get up to tier 3 of whatever it was you're trying to do. Um, so yeah, this. We're about a third of the way through filling these up to the point where a train can come and grab them. So it's going to be a while, especially given that this isn't working properly at the moment, and we're a bit short of chemical gel. How are we doing for that? How much of that have we used up? Okay, we've used about half of it up now. So yeah, we're going to need to get some more of that in before anything useful can happen. Next question? How's the ice rocket doing? It's 152 out of 500. That's less than a third. Oh, this is going to take a while. I need to go off and find something else to do while I'm waiting for it to finish, because none of this is going to go anywhere until it does. What I can do actually is I can go and put in some more plasma generation, because we're using a lot more of that than I really expected to. I'm going to check power on the way past. It's probably going to be fine because we're so short of it. Yeah, we're so short of the plasma that none of the really power hungry things are kicking in. Yeah, I suppose I could launch the rocket with only being a third full of ice. That is a possibility. It's a waste of a rocket and a load of fuel, but c'est vie. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. So it's not those ones. Are you plasma generators? You are. Take all of them. All right, bring me the stuff. Stuff. I wonder. While I'm thinking about random things, I wonder how my spaceship's getting on with loading up. Okay, so there's a load of belts being passed through to it. That's good. How's my supply of space scaffolding appears to be okay here, at least. It's not being passed through. Presumably that means I've got enough of it. Belts going through merrily. Underground belts are not being made very quickly, so even though I've got two machines making them and pumping into here, I think 5, is that? What is that? What's it reading? It annoys me sometimes that you can't just hover over something and see its circuit conditions. Some things you can, but other things you have to actually come along and hook them up to a pylon. Then you can hover over that, and then it'll give you the actual information you want. I'm just wondering if that 5 is wrong, and whether that should actually be 4 to get it to feed from this belt into the thing. Oh, energy catalogs. Right, yes. So I thought cats was a typo for ice because I was still thinking about the ice. Yeah, that's true. I could carry a load over either by hand or just manually summon a train. That's not a bad idea. It would at least speed things up a little bit. Does that ever get to 5? I can't remember whether it's 4 or 5 on a... No, it's 4. Idiot. Read, hold, yeah. 4. Enabled when... Oh, greater than 4. Greater than or equal to 4. There we go. Okay, now we're going to be passing through the belts from this production facility, which is quite big and making... I mean, it's not making them particularly quickly, but it's making them faster than they're being used up down here at least. So we now should make... This should allow us to make the underground belts a bit quicker. And if belts are under particularly high demand, this will drop down beyond here and it'll stop passing them over. So that should be quite nice. So how are we getting on with this? How full is the spaceship? Not very at all. Okay. Alright, that's fine. And I don't think there's anything in there that I actually need at the moment. I'm reasonably happy with that. Is there anything in here that I really don't need? Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. This is why I tend to end up every so often having to do a big... Oops, not them, keep them. A big tidy up of my inventory. Sorry, of my storage facilities down here and just sort things out and take them all to where they should be. Because every so often I just come over here and go, nope, don't want that. Just dump it all into the boxes here. You could well be right. It is bringing up space scaffolding. So if I do enough building, then I should end up with quite a lot of that being brought up. Although I have been doing quite a lot of building, and it hasn't been bringing any up. So maybe that 30,000 is doing better than I realised. There's 22,000 of it up here. Oh, and that's with... Wow. I don't know where all that space scaffolding has come from, but apparently I have an enormous quantity of space scaffolding up here in space. Good. No need. I won't need to do the building on asteroids thing then. All right, that sticky outy bit there on the map, I think, is my... Yep, here we go. Is my these things. So let's get the scaffolding back onto large mode. I'm going to put in a second row of it underneath here. Oh, could be. Yeah, I did pull up a lot of initial base. I also wonder if it was just down to or over-ordering a bit because I misclicked or misset something up, or a rocket came up only half full, or, you know, those sort of reasons. Okay, yeah, I'd noticed that the tier 4 tended to be a bit different. So on a lot of them, the Astro requires you to go off to and start having asteroid field bases, for example. That's a bit weird with the pylons. The Astro requires you to go off to an asteroid belt. The which one is it? The energy requires you to go off to a solar orbit, and there's a few other things like that. So yeah, the tier 4s seem to be a little bit different from the rest of them. But then that makes sense. You'd expect them to be a bit weird, a bit more complicated, a bit harder, all that sort of stuff, because they're the final tier where you expect it to be more difficult, essentially. So that makes perfect sense. Right, I don't need these extra pylons in here. I don't think. I am going to need... Okay, the chem gel is going to need to be fed across at some point. Let's do it here. No, let's do it at the beginning of the stream. And I'm going to need to have this fed through at some point as well. But again, I'll do that as far down this way as I can, just to reduce the distance the stuff has to flow. I don't think it makes any significant difference, but it feels slightly tidier and neater and more sensible. I know I've run out of the machines. I'll leave it there rather than go any further, I think, because I don't want to actually finish a sentence. Apparently. What don't I want to do? Yeah, just in case I want to expand this later. There's room now to easily double it, so I think that's probably okay. And then here we need a pipe like that, and we need underground belts. Right, these ones down here have now kicked in. These ones along here are all running. How are we doing now? Are we filling up with plasma? We are. We've got 4,000 plasma in there, and ooh, it's wobbling around 4,000. I'll come back and have a look at that in a minute, because there's everything else has got a lot of filling up to do as well. So we've got this pipe trying to fill up. This one has filled up. We've got loads of ion stream. That's great. We can fuel up some spaceships off it or something later. Up here we have a significant amount of plasma stream, making the green clouds are now full. Excellent. So now we should find up here. All of these should be happy. Why are you not happy? You've got too much. I've messed up the thermofluid output again. Yes, there's no pipe there like that. Or like that. Or like that. Okay. Right, that should now all be running happily. We've got still full of proton stream. Good. How's power doing now? Everything's running flat out. Seems to be reasonable. If we look back over past, yeah, those are bouncing up, but they're not going all the way up to the 500 megawatts that we can produce in total if we need to. So I think this area might actually be happy, at least for the short period until it runs out of this stuff, which is now down to 2.4. Yeah, okay. So it's okay for now. The theory is about right, but the ice shortage is going to still be a problem. Let's go with what we were saying earlier. Grab some of that and fly it over manually. Just so this way we can see the science working. We can make better computers, and we can start thinking about having them running in as well, which would be quite nice. It's not going to be an enormous sort of sea change of how things are working. Everything is going to work in basically the same way it was before. We're just going to have a bit more speed in all of the computers. So we're going to, that means we're going to start making the sciences twice as fast. So every single, all those ones where I've been going in and adding machine after machine after machine until it's making the data cards fast enough to actually keep up with the demand, is suddenly going to be struggling and not able to keep up. So that's going to be fun. I guess I'll just go around and try and sort that out with modules and beacons and swearing and putting in more stuff. We shall see how that goes. Right, my very first Energy 3 science packs. Excellent. Things are going well. So one of the things I think I've probably talked about this already, but in the end, I essentially managed to solve maybe it's not quite so solved because these aren't as full as they were before. I need more recycling plants. This is going to start backing up. Okay, let's go and sort out that yak that needs a good thorough shaving. What are we short of here? Is it the yeah, it's the oh. Have I removed the rocket that's bringing up the substrates for the memory cards? I mean, that's sort of. Why are you not happy? There's no rocket parts coming up. Why have I done that? Oh, it's probably when I was moving these belts around and stuff like that. I just broke this. Okay, let's fix that. This is going to be another one of those things where I then end up having to wait 3 days for a rocket to fill up. I suppose what I could do here is I could have these being brought up in the spaceship. Just pass this belt along here. I'd have to think about numbers for that as well a bit. It would be possible. It could be made to work. But I then have to do some logistics, some weird belts and things to ship it all around up at the top. I think that's probably a bad idea. Yes, I could halve the number of supercomputers. You're quite right. That would work perfectly well and would do exactly it would mean everything would work at the same rate still. However, I think I'm probably not. I'm probably going to just double them all and see how well it keeps up, and if it's difficult to sort out, I might not. I might decide I don't care, or I might decide I do actually want to improve things a little bit. We'll see. Okay, there's my rocket. Now we're loading up with the substrates. It's only a red belt feeding this one, so this is going to take even longer to fill up. But we only stacked to 100 of these, so it's not. Why is there a yellow belt in there? Can we take that out? I managed this before. I managed to take something out of a rocket, and I don't know how I did it. Oh well. Never mind. It'll just end up sitting in one of the slots in the landing pad up the top, and just being ignored. So I'm not too upset about that. What was I saying? Oh yes, recycling of Why is there an alarm going off? Oh. Oh, I know what's happened here. That should be a global playback, probably. Yes, as it says here, I'm having a sushi crisis. I've got a thing popping up here, I just didn't see it. Yeah, I'll turn the global playback off because that's annoying. Okay, which one of these belts is supposed to go down? So this is a problem I have with the way I'm organising this. I have to come in. I have to remember to come in here and program up the splitters to make sure things go the right way when I start doing a new science pack type. So the size 3 will, so it's 1, 2, 3. So this one is a tier 3. Yes. So this belt here is where they should be coming down, and that should actually be that, because I couldn't program these earlier, which is kind of frustrating. So now come over here, pick all of these up as they trickle through, and now you can see they're pouring down there, and they're going back into the system, being rotated passed back through again around the sushi belt. That seems to have sorted it. Okay, good. And I can now just dump them all in here because I put this in specially for just dumping science back onto the sushi belt and then getting it tidied up afterwards. So that will now clean itself up and sort itself out. That means I can now start doing that, and I can start doing that. I had a feeling there was something else I wanted as well while I'm thinking about research. That one I can't do yet. That requires material science 3, which I haven't got. I could do some of these sort of things. You mean have a fish icon pop up in my system tray? Yeah, that would be another possibility. It sort of doesn't matter. I just made it a science pack icon to try and make it a bit more obvious. But yes, I see why you think a fish would be a good one for sushi. Stronger explosives. I don't think I need stronger explosives, to be honest. Worker robot speed is always nice. 1,600 of those science packs, though. I'm not sure I can afford that. I'm not sure I can afford 300. I probably can. Laser speed. I mean, that might be nice for the spaceships, actually. That's not too expensive. Let's have that one. Efficiency module 6. I'm not really using the higher end modules because they're so expensive to make that I just don't really want to. I'm going to need that sooner or later. No, I can't research that. I haven't got the prereqs. Are any of these good? Strength upgrade. Is that an inventory capacity? It is. Let's have that. Inventory is always useful. Dexterity is handcrafting speed. Sure. That's going to be health, isn't it? Yes. Sure. Might as well pick those up while they're there and easy and cheap. Deep space zone discovery. I could do that. I've done one of those already, actually. But let's have another one. Okay, that's my research queue full, so that we can leave that going. And now over here, I've got the speed modules pumping these. Ooh, have I got any more efficiency modules up here yet? I should productivity modules up here. I should go and check if I can make some more of these tier 6s. How are we doing? Yeah, so these are running nice and quickly and nice. They're running at like 6.5 times speed, which is actually 63 times the normal research speed, and they've got productivity of almost 100 plus 100%. So they're doing pretty well, as you can see by the fact that quantum processes is almost half done. I suspect I'm doing science faster than at least 2. Hey, I'm as fast as a train. Look at that. At least 2 productivity modules. You could be right. 2 isn't really going to go very. Oh, these 2 already made. Yes, that's true. What I was meaning is, are there any more that have been brought up? And I'm not quite sure how to check, to be honest. I suppose the easy way to check is to say, bring me. Where are they? Here they are. Productivity module 3s. And see what happens. No, there aren't any more up here. I did put them on the shopping list, I think. Yes, there's 1,000. So presumably there's 1,000 of them sitting in the spaceship. There isn't 1,000 of them sitting in the spaceship. So what's supposed to happen is there was a requester chest around here before that was requesting whatever was on the output of this debris. So the way this works is the way the whole system works is I have massive negative numbers in space. You add of the things that I want. You add on the number I actually have. So if there aren't enough of them up there, then we get a negative number being passed down. This combinator will take all of that and then invert it. So it takes in those numbers and then inverts them. So multiplies them by -1. So we see on here, those are the things that we don't have enough of. So the space scaffolding is on that list. I don't know why that's not being fed through. That's a thing I am going to have a look at. Where does space scaffolding come in? It comes in here. Space scaffolding is less than 0. Okay, you're hooked up to there. Ah, there is a wiring problem down here. That's why my spaceship isn't full. So let's do that and that. Let's do that. Oh wait, let's do that. Now we have there we go. Yes, there we go. So there's now tons of this flooding through here. And heat shield tiles as well, that appears. Oh, and batteries. So yeah, there are actually quite a few things that are supposed to be going into the spaceship that haven't been. What I also want to do is put in a requester chest here with a stack inserter and then link it to that and then say request from buff. Here we go. Set requests. There we go. So that's now going to request all of the things that are on the that we don't have enough of. Now we're stuck without being able to get the uranium up there, which is a bit of a pain, but I'm just going to have to deal with that because there is no way of getting uranium onto the logistics network around here. Pipes, well, but then all the things that are just being made randomly on the logistics network will then get brought in by the logistics bots, and then when that happens, they're going to get shoved onto the belt and go into the spaceship as well. So this is going to fill my spaceship up a bit more. This is what I was expecting to happen when I built the spaceship and then set the whole thing up. Yeah, I was expecting it to basically fill up with all of this sort of stuff, and then at some point fairly soon I'll be able to launch it. Now the next question is, why don't I have any rocket fuel coming through here? So I had a look at this in the past. I think it might have been in one of the videos actually, probably the one that went live fairly recently. And actually there does seem to be a bit of rocket fuel flowing through here. There's not very much though, and this is why it's taking so bloody long to refuel the spaceship. This is coming from these pipes here. These are the ones that I put in to carry all of the various types of oil, the petroleum gas, the light oil and the heavy oil, over so that they can be put into barrels. And now I hate barrels, so I sort of stopped using them as soon as I could and then forgot about it. But we are also turning any light oil that makes its way along here into rocket fuel. The problem is there's not very much light oil making its way along here. So, is there a reason for this? Is it because there's not very much heavy oil. There's also not very much light oil, and we're full of petroleum gas, which is a weird situation to be in because I'm used to petroleum gas being turned into plastic at a hell of a rate. But apparently we've got enough plastic, so that's why we're so we've got too much plastic. So what I think I need to do is come back over here and cut off this and this and this and put that there and that like that, and then tell these instead to make solid fuel from petroleum gas. That's going to help a little bit. It's not going to help quite as much as I would like it to, because there's still going to be oh, actually no, it is going to help a bit. So what'll happen? Yeah, when these pipes get put in, we'll start making solid fuel from petroleum gas. That'll relieve the amount of petroleum gas that's bring that down a little bit, allowing my petrochem area to make more petroleum gas, and therefore make more of all of the other things like the light oil as well. So hopefully, getting these in here, come on bots, today will be nice, will allow this to start working. I could get these ones running on. Oh, except that is going to need. I've done it badly. Get rid of that bit as well. This is a problem. So if I get rid of that and that, oh, this is as always, it's a mess. Bring this over to here. Oh, that's not going to work because I need that inserted to be there. I need to move this one to the. Oh, actually, no. Here's what I can do. I can get rid of that bit. I don't like doing this sort of work remotely because the bots are slow compared to doing things by hand. So you spend a lot longer faffing around with things and seeing if you've got it right, rather than just going blump. Yes, it's working. No, it's not working. Whichever way, you find out a lot quicker. Let's put that there, and I need to get. Oh, I need to get the light oil in here somehow as well. So, actually, let's get rid of that, and run that up there, and put that there. That, I think, is complete and correct. We just need to wait for... Oh, I was doing Deep Space Discovery. Oh, yes, I was doing Deep Space Discovery. I remember. I think that's correct. We just need to wait for all of the bits and pieces I've requested to be brought in and fitted. Come on, bots. Bring me some pipes. Here they come. And hopefully that... Yeah, if I can take the pressure off the... petroleum gas side and start making the solid fuel out of that as well, it'll allow things to run a bit more smoothly. Now what I could consider doing is turning these ones over to run on petroleum gas as well. I'm not sure where the balance point is going to be with that though. I'm also not sure why this hasn't come up and, you know, just built. Here they come. Right. Now we're cooking with rocket fuel. That is several times the amount I had being produced before, which is nice. Well, my only concern is that we may run out of petroleum gas that we need for plastic. But I think I'm just going to not worry about it right now because my brain hurts. No, because I think it's probably going to be okay. So eventually we'll get a bit more fuel flowing around here. We should get this filled up a bit more quickly. We have already. Oh, we have enough fuel to launch now anyway. So I could launch the spaceship if I wanted to, but I don't think there's any real need to. What are those symbols on the bottom? I don't know. Don't really care. I don't think it matters. And this is filling up nicely. We're about, I don't know. Oh, we're 150 on that one as well. So that's about a third full as well. Like whatever it was I was looking at before that was a third full. How are you doing? Similarly, but slightly worse. Okay, that will eventually fill up, and at the moment we do seem to have enough memory cards rattling around the area up there that it's not too much of a worry. Let's check out while I'm looking at things and seeing how much stuff is in them. How are you doing? Bit more than half. Okay. Right. So the next thing was to go out and put in some more recycling plants, and those are these ones. Recycling facilities. Yes, 5 will do. Thank you. Let's go and put these in. At least this will allow me to recycle the dodgy memory cards a bit, the junk memory cards no, the broken memory cards a bit more quickly, and therefore recycle the junk memory cards into fully working memory cards. Reason. No, that. do what I mean, not what I say. Plomp, 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 plomp. Right, there we go. That should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double the speed it was running at. And in fact, that has pulled through. Well, the extra belt I put in there has pulled through all of those broken data cards. So now this is running freely. And we've got 1,000 down there that need formatting. In fact, this might be an opportunity to make some of those better supercomputers, and I could put them in here to do the formatting a bit more quickly. What do they require to make? Let's have a look. So these things are a tier 1 supercomputer and a load of quantum processors. Okay, and blue circuits. Blue circuits I kind of have. Right, okay, that's quite a bit of stuff. I mean, none of that is unmanageable, but it is still quite a bit of stuff. Actually, since I'm carrying this one more recycling plant, let's put that in as well, just because I might as well. It'll just fill up my pockets otherwise. Right, there we go. Oh yes, yeah, that rings a bell. Was it with a slightly better reliability or a slightly better proportion of them come back undamaged or something, wasn't it? That sounds very familiar. Right, what do you make a supercomputer 2 in? Is it a manufactory or is it just a normal assembly plant? Where is the bloody thing? There it is. Made in a manufactory, of course it is. Fine, I'll shove this in down here somewhere. We need to make quantum processors. I'm going to assume for now until I get corrected that they're made in one of those. I'm quickly being corrected. Quantum processors are also made in a manufactory, so don't have that. Have that. In fact, if I don't put that there, if I put that offset a little bit, then I can use one blue chest. Am I in bottomant area? Yes, I am. I can then put in a blue chest there. Do that. You are to make me some quantum processors. You are to make me some supercomputer 2. In here. Like that. Yeah, summon those. And summon some supercomputer 1s. 5 is probably sufficient. Then we have this dump out into a red chest. I said into a red chest because I want to be able to summon them. And we want you to be wired up to that said red chest and to be enabled blah 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 if those are less than 10. 10 seems like a good number. Okay. Let's play What Are We Missing? Holmium plates. Great. Now, I think... Am I making them anywhere where I can just shove them in a box? Yeah, so here, this is making holmium plates, but there aren't any. Okay. Do it when holmium plate is less than 200. And then we need another requester chester. Like that. 4. Okay, that should do. So now we should end up with holmium plates in in the logistics networks, and things should just work. Now, those holmium plates should be flown across from over here, where we've got a massive warehouse full of them. So yes, that does seem to be working as expected. I am flying stuff around by bot a bit, which is something I try and avoid doing, especially as I'm down to only about 50 logistics bots. I wonder if that's something I could request some more of. Might be able to. I don't know. Problem is, I my map. Yep. Yeah. I want some more logistics bots, but I don't really know if they're going to be any in the logistics network back on Norvis. Logistics bots? They are these guys. All right. Yes. So it's as a an improvement for the formatting, as we were saying. Data card, junk data cards are turned into So this one, which runs in anything, turns one junk data card, 70% chance of getting it back, or I can do this one, which has an 80% chance of getting it back. So yeah, 10% boost. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's actually 52 left, so it's not quite 50. But yes, I think that might be correct. It might. I'm not sure. Yeah, 52 logistics spots. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, there's an 80% chance of getting with that one, but it requires, instead of cool, it requires cold, as you were saying. Spot on. Yes, you're quite right. I should do that. I'll set that up in a moment. Then when I get 3, then it uses super cooled, and you get 90% of them back, and then 95% eventually with the 4th one. Okay, so I think a 10 is slightly more than 10% boost. It's 10 percentage points boost anyway. That's definitely worth having. So I'll get that. That can be my first priority, I think, for getting those set up. Right, so let's link that to all of this. You read robot statistics. Available logistics bots. No, total. Yeah, available logistics bots X. So that shouldn't be bots. That should be X. Here's minus 100. Okay. Of course, that isn't going to work at the other end. I'd need something else at the other end to turn X's back into bots, which is a bit of a pain. I'll worry about that later. Yeah, universal simulation. That's a good point. That is definitely worth having. How much better is that than the previous one? Yeah, I suppose that's a good way of looking at it. Yes, it's a third of the ones that would get broken aren't going to be. So yeah, as you say, a significant improvement. So insights. So we've gone from if we go from I'm doing the what am I looking at the moment? How do you make those? Right, there we go. I'm doing this one at the moment where you go. No. I should be looking at significant data. That's why I can't find it. Right, here we go. So I'll go from turning 36 into 8 to turning 36 into 10. So yeah, it's a sizable improvement. It's worth having. I'd say that and the card formatting are both probably similarly important. Right now, because I have a shortage of the blank data card substrates, possibly the formatting of the data cards is more important. But in general, yes, this one's much more important because it's going to save me a lot of resources being passed through. So yeah, let's research that actually now that I can. I assume I've been able to research it for ages. I just haven't bothered because I wasn't going to be able to do it because I didn't have the quantum supercomputers. Okay, that's nice. How are we doing with computer making? Blue circuits. There we go. And I'm going to need I need quantum phenomenon data. I wonder where that's came from. Let's go and get some quantum phenomenon data. Oh, okay, yeah. If it's a prereq, that explains why I didn't have it. Thank you. All right, I'm not going mad or stupid or something. Quantum is the wibbly outline one. Nope, that's a wibbly line. These are all technical terms. Thank you very much. Still wiggly line. No, not the London Eye. There we go. Let's take a few of these. Can't remember how many I needed, but let's take several. Oh, one of these has stopped. Why are you not making stuff? Oh, right, yeah, I've run out of the chemical gel. That is sadly predicted. I just need that water, bloody rocket to fill up with water. Oh, such a slow process waiting for a rocket to fill up with, well, anything. And it's good that rockets are big because it means you can ship stuff around much more quickly and effectively and efficiently and so on. But it's also frustrating just how big they are because it takes bloody ever to do anything. How many? 500 blue circuits. Flippin' heck. And 50 quantum processors. These supercomputers are kind of pricey. You might as well have those two. How many do you need per? Just one, okay. Yeesh. I'm going to transport some blue circuits over by hand. Oh, I'm short of blue circuits. Well, okay, I'm not that short of... Actually, if I'm going to start using 500 per supercomputer, I am going to be short of blue circuits. That's something else I need to fix. I'd sort of forgotten about that. Possibly through sort of willful forgetfulness, I'm not sure. But, yeah. Okay, so we now have all of the stuff we need being made or being put in. We just need to wait for this and the holmium to come through for this to make enough quantum processors. Oh. That's a very good question. It's a infrastructure will eventually pay for itself, but you're right. It's potentially a long way down the proverbial wasp name. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It depends on what you value as well, because these quantum supercomputers, they're using enormous quantities of blue circuits. They're using a little bit of this science stuff. They're using some holmium, so they're mostly using relatively basic resources, because even the blue circuits can be made on Norvis. These are just plastic, and holmium is a resource I ship in. The only particularly funky thing that's going into them is the quantum phenomenon data. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. But I do feel that then these particular things aren't enormously expensive. However, I was thinking because I can't do the four insight significant data recipe with the previous generation of computers, then I should just use these for that. But the same is true with the card formatting as well. So it's not just a speed upgrade; it is a capability upgrade as well. Otherwise, I'd think, well, I'm not going to bother upgrading the I'm not going to bother upgrading the ones that are producing the data cards, because all that is a speed boost, and speed isn't that great. I can just do it. It's cheaper to put in twice as many. Actually, I want to do all of these at the same time, so I can switch this over to the other thermofluid in one go. So I need a third one. Train of thought. Yeah, so there's no point in putting it in for making all the data cards, because all that's going to gain me is speed, and it'd be a lot cheaper just to put in a second tier 1 supercomputer for all of the things, rather than coming along putting in a tier 2 one. Why don't I have any supercomputers being made? So it's only where I can actually use a new recipe, or either have to or want to use a new recipe, that it's worth doing. I would have expected one of these to be making supercomputers, but apparently not. I guess that's another thing I'm going to need to do down here. But then that's not exactly a problem. I mean, which way does this go? I haven't left quite... I'm not quite enough room. Boom, I guess. And oh, actually, no, there is enough room. As long as I use a long inserter here, it's just going to reach. Okay, you do tier 1 supercomputers. What does that take? Oh, assembly machines, which I've got loads of, so that's not a problem. Space assembly machines, sure. And low density structures, which again I've got plenty of those, so I can shove a load of those in here and without too much of a worry. How many does it require? 40. It's all big numbers, but never mind. Okay, so this is going to run out of quantum phenomenon data. That's entirely predictable. How are we doing here? There's only 12. Thank you. Yes, that is risky. I might even, you know what I'm going to do? I'm even going to take the nukes right out of the launcher and put, yeah. So I can't accidentally accidentally destroy an enormous chunk of my base. Right, my current worry is about blue circuits. So there's a huge quantity of those being met. There's a bit of a problem with blue circuits, is what I'm trying to say. As you know, probably noticed when I looked over here to go and grab some, there aren't any in the rocket landing pad, and the ones that are in here are rapidly depleting. It's still about 2/3 full, so there's quite a lot left, but they are going down and they're not being brought back in again. And that's because out on Penkaseswi, I had a sort of a brain crisis and couldn't decide whether it was better to basically which thing I wanted to risk running out of. So I thought, well, I'm making plenty of holmium. We'll use the stone that's output during the holmium creation process to go in here and make the green circuits, to make the red circuits, to make the blue circuits. So that means if I'm not shipping enough holmium out, I'm also not shipping blue circuits out. And it turns out that was the wrong way round. What I actually need to do is ship in stone, to which will probably go to this station over here, and then pump that into the system in order to turn it into the substrates for all of the for the circuits. And also I get through a fair amount of glass as well, so I'm not going to worry too much about some of it being turned about if I end up making a bit more glass than I really wanted to. However, I don't seem to have all the bits I need for that. There's basically there aren't any. I've run out of stations. I've run out of all the bits for stations, so I haven't managed to get a supply of stone flowing into here in order to be turned into the circuits. So that means, I guess, that I'm going to need to head out over here and turn this into some sort of, and put in a stone station here and so on, and just get it all built up and actually working properly as it's supposed to. So yeah, that's a thing. Now I think what I'd quite like to do is fly over here in a spaceship, because spaceships are cool mostly, and there isn't any shortage of, well, yeah, there isn't any shortage of rocket parts up here, so I don't need to send a rocket over. So I think that means the next thing for me to do is to build another spaceship, and have one that I start putting one together that I consider as a sort of a flying between places spaceship, essentially. So let's grab some of that. 500, that's a lot of spaceship floor. And I'll build myself a slightly less wide spaceship than that, I think, probably, at least start with. We'll make it that wide, and then start sketching some spaceship wall down. That's too much spaceship floor. Don't make that much. Okay, so the walls, we'll try and make... Actually, if we make it too wide at the front, then it's nice and symmetrical when I start putting in laser cannons. I'm going to need a bit... Let's put down loads of floor for now, actually. And then I can just build a spaceship on it and then pick up the excess afterwards. Maybe I didn't have quite as much excess. Alright, there's no point in having those bits there. That should be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a nice shape? I'm not really sure. Oop, that isn't a nice shape. So we're going to need, let's see, we will need a spaceship console, which we can't have because we don't have any aeroframe poles. Goodness sake. All right. So we're going to put some laser turrets across the front of it. Let's just do what we can at the moment and then worry about what we can't. What else needs to be done later? We need a power supply in the middle of it. Ooh, okay, that works, I suppose. Put it there. We're going to need one of these for liftoff from planets, but we're not going to fly with this as an engine, as a proper engine. I don't think this needs to be much bigger than about that, because this is going to be mainly for taking me around and relatively small amounts of stuff. So, but I am going to need to start making ion engines, and I'm going to need to put some doors in as well, which I've run out of bits for, of course I have. You are requesting aeroframe poles. Right, let's have this also feed out into a red chest, because I need more than that, basically. Ion engines, I believe, are made from rocket engines. This is all going to be in here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Ion engines. So yes, it is a rocket engine, and it's, oh, that's not too bad. Let's put that there. Actually, no, let's put that there. I can do that. You make ion engines. Okay, a second booster tank will allow me to make it a bit more symmetrical as well. Yeah, I won't make it symmetrical because I'll put them both on the same side for easy fueling. But it could allow me to make it more symmetrical. Right, so ion thruster also requires all kinds of holmium stuff. Was it holmium solenoids as well? It was. I thought it might have been. And low density structures. It's just choosing things that are different from the bits I'm already putting in, isn't it? Just to make things difficult and awkward. Holmium solenoids are pretty easy to make. Am I making them anywhere? Yes, I am. I'm making them here. This whole area is a horrible mess. I don't really like it, but I mean it's kind of doing what I want it to do, but it is a bit of a mess. So I don't know quite how I feel about it. I think at some point one of the things I would like to do is just rip up the whole area and build it again. 59? I was meant to be 50, but never mind. I guess close enough. Yeah, do it again, but better, as the saying goes. And make a sort of a nice, neat everything making facility, because this is a horrible mess. I will happily admit that. Well, I don't know if I'll happily admit it, but I'll freely admit it. Okay, that should now be able to summon everything it needs. Gradually, but very gradually. Okay, so I'm going to need the 2 fuel tanks. Yeah, there they are. Let's put them in up here. 2 of them. Fill them up like that. I'm also going to need to have the ion engines across the bottom. I am going to put in an ion storage doohickey, like that. It does occur to me there is no rocket fuel down here. Why am I building the rocket down here? Maybe I'll just... Well, what I'll probably do is build it down here because there's space, and then go up north, and it's convenient for all the stuff that I'm going to need for it. Then deconstruct it with bots, and then rebuild it up at the top. What did you need? You need... Astro catalog. Right. Oh, can't fly in a spaceship. And interesting, being outside, but just standing on the edge of the spaceship's flooring counts as being inside, apparently. Astro's down here? Yes, it is. Good. 2, 3? No, 1. And 2. 3 are down here. Yes and no. Ooh, actually, what would be, what would be better? just flying down to Norvis without bothering with any fuel, or without any more than I have to take, and then refueling there. That could work. Yeah, because the problem, one of the things I would quite like to do, and this is something I was thinking about earlier, but then never really finished considering. Blip, nope, is that I think my rocket fuel supplies aren't good enough. I think I need to start shipping it up here, possibly in liquid form, probably in solid form, to be honest. And what I want to do with that is I want to have a look for a planet that's ideally nice and small and also has oil on it. And it'd be nice if it didn't have biters. So let's see. This one, for example, Asalia. If I start flying here with, let's go erudite as well. If I start flying out here with spaceships, then I can start collecting lots and lots of oil from this planet, and then refining it into rocket fuel, either solid or liquid. I'm sort of tempted to say liquid, because then I could use the same spaceship to take water down there and bring rocket fuel back up. But I think that's probably not going to be practical. This is going to be a dry planet, isn't it? It says humid and earthy. It doesn't say dry. And so, it says seas. Excellent, even better. So I can do all of my. Yes, it does have water, so I can go out there and do my normal nuclear power plant for making the rocket fuel. Excellent. Otherwise, I'd have to. And solar wise, it's 98% for solar, so it's almost as good as Norvis. Very near. Oh, Asalia is the moon of Norvis, I think. Yes, it's the moon of Norvis, so it's actually really close by as well. So that's even better. Excellent. All right, so I'm liking Asalia more and more. So I think this is going to be. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to. It's even got uranium in tiny quantities. I wonder if that'll be enough to mine it on site. What I'm going to do is go out there, build up a system of levers and pulleys. No, oil mining and refining and turning it into rocket fuel. Shove that into a spaceship in massive quantities and ship it to here. I might even bring it in liquid form to here, actually, because then I can use, because these things hold a massive quantity, don't they? Be nice if it told me how much they held, wouldn't it? Am I in map mode? No. Maybe? Yeah. No. Right. It doesn't tell me how much they store, which is unhelpful. Maybe it'll tell me in here. 100k, right. So these are the same size as these tanks. So actually, yes, if I just fill these up with massive quantities of fuel. Oh, that's true. Yeah, productivity modules all the way through. Good idea. And lots of beacons as well, and just get everything as fast and efficient as possible. So, yes, if I fill up a spaceship with these, I can bring massive quantities of rocket fuel to here, and that can be used. Maybe I can take some of it down to Norvis. That could work quite nicely. Or at the very least, I refuel my my spaceship up here, get it absolutely brimming, and then when it goes down to Norvis, it won't need any when it's down there. So that'll save me a lot of fuel on Norvis as well. These tanks are much bigger than these tanks, so I can use loads of those to bring all the fuel up. And when I finally get round to having a system of spaceships gradually replacing my rockets, bringing all of the various materials up here, I can have them all fuel up here in the space at the space station, and off that supply, and they'll be able to use that to lift off from whatever planet they go to. Right? Yes, this sounds promising. First stop Norvis, second stop Asalia, I think. Yeah, that's going to be and then on to whatever that planet was I was talking about earlier. Oh, right. Oh, there's my 3 game saving. I really need to look into the non-blocking saving thing that you can do. Right, let's have some ion engines. Let's put them in down here. Wow, they're kind of big. Those are big old engines. Right. Okay, so these are going to power the spaceship while it's flying from A to B, off um, ion stream, which is going to be stored in this tank. So I need a pipe going across here, like that. I'm going to need a door into this spaceship at some point, which is going to need a load of airframe bulkheads and heat shielding. You're not a blue chest. Why are you not a blue chest? There's some heat shielding. Have that. You're making bulkheads. Where are you putting them? Oh, they're all going straight in here. There we go. How many does it need? One. Okay, so good. We're going to make some doors from that. Which I'll probably put over on this side, I guess, because it's the only place. It's where I've left some space. Doors, 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 doors. Okay, we're using even distribution on the Industrial Revolution playthrough, but not in this one. So that's only sort of a problem. What am I doing? Let's do this by bot. It's going to be easier. Tiles, everything. No, actually, let's whitelist spaceship floor. That one. I might be able to tell the difference between these. You never know. Um, and that, and that. Sorry, my train of thought just disappeared completely while I was doing that. So, what am I doing at the moment? Yes, I'm tidying up around the edge of my spaceship first. So I'll then need to make a copy of it, head over to the more northern area. I need to just have enough fuel to get me to Norvis, and then I'll land in the spaceport area. This is an ugly spaceship. I don't like it very much. Some redesigns may be required, but let's just do a quick integrity check. Container stress is very, very low. That's to be expected because I haven't put any containers in it. Can I put a warehouse in? Is there room? There is. Oh, I haven't got any sort of electricity supply. That would be useful. I might need to make this a bit longer. How are we doing for integrity check now? Okay, so there's room for a warehouse in it. I like having a warehouse in my spaceships because then I can then there's just feels like there's lots of room for everything I might want to put in it. No, give me that. Ah, okay. Yes, they do. That's why I need to put in a lot of a lot of power supplies. I worked it out previously how much it was going to take, and this is going to be sort of an in-system cruiser, so I don't need to worry about it leaving the solar system particularly. So I think I reckon I should be fine with solar. Yeah. But let's have a look at the numbers and try and get this right. So a spaceship ion engine uses 10 megawatts. One of these in space around this sort of area produces 3.7. So if I put in 3 times as many. So if I put in 9 of these solar panels, then I should be okay for the engines, and then I'm able to put in a few more for other things. 1, no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I might be, but it's always fun to overbuild a bit and see how it goes. And the worst case, if I start to run low on power, one of the engines will cut out and the ship will go a little bit slower. So it's sort of a self-limiting thing, really. So I think it should be all right. Of course, the ion stream tank is now in the wrong place. That should, yeah, I can't. What's the limiting factor for this? This is the speed this is building at. Okay. Have some of those. Yeah, you're probably right. My sort of attitude to it an extent is if I end up slowing down a bit, I don't really care. Frost orbit, 111%. Norvis orbit, where I am at the moment, 466. So it's about a quarter. If I make it all the way out to Calidus Asteroid Belt 2, then it's going to be down to 20%. So I think I'm not going to go out there with ion engines. What was that, iron ore? Okay. I'm not going out there with ion engines because I will really struggle. But out to Frost, yeah, because I probably am going to go to Frost. Let's see. So the theory, so 111%, that's a bit less than a quarter. Call it a fifth of what I'm getting here in Norvis orbit. So that's good. So at the moment I'm getting 3.7. So a fifth of that is about 0.7 megawatts, which means the 10 of them to get 9 of them together will produce about 6.3 megawatts. That is still quite a lot less than 10, which is what the ion engine uses. Yeah, if I take this all the way out to Frost, it's gonna run out of power. Yeah, that's a good point. It won't have enough for one engine to run. That's the point. If these drop down to so basically it requires 3 of these to run one ion engine at the moment. If I go to somewhere with a fifth of the power, it'll require 5 times as many. So it'll need 15 of these for one engine to run. So maybe I should be putting a few more of these in here. Or at least trying to. Let's make the ship slightly wider. I haven't got enough flooring tiles. Is there any that's been picked up by the bots that they want to bring back to me? Right, so if I put that would go, I'll need to be 2 more tiles wide in order to fit that in. So that would go there. Yes, that would fit. I don't know. That's a good question, Tristan. Whether they, yes, if they just have low power, the ship might carry on moving, or it might just go nope and stop running. Neither of which would be ideal, but having them just cut out would be significantly worse. What? Why is that not working? Yeah, I know. I'm sort of thinking that my rocket is just going to get gradually longer and longer as I build it up. So, ooh, was that a load of flooring? It was a load of flooring. Where did that all come from? Or more to the point, where did it all go? Yeah, I'm not trying to base it off any real world rocket, at least not at this stage. Well, I did nearly make a Millennium Falcon, but that was just because the rocket was an ugly shape. I think that's the right width for filling up completely with doohickey jobbies. Yeah, so that line there would be the edge of the rocket. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that's 16, which is enough to run one engine all the way out. Oh yeah, and if I put in one of the holmium-based accumulators as well, that'll give me that little bit extra power to sort of smooth out some of the bumps in it, hopefully. Yeah, 2 different thoughts. Yeah, having the extra power, having some accumulators on board will help with the keeping the things running even when the power is slightly glitchy. Oh, run out again. I wonder if there's any more been made yet, or at least enough to. Yes, that's enough that I can select it and go. Actually, I don't think I need it to be this long. maybe that long. How much can I have these stick out by? That much, okay. One there, one there, one in the middle. Pipe. Okay, so there isn't going to be... I haven't left room for... Actually, I only need 15 of those, so I can put a fuel tank in here, like that. Okay, to be honest, that's probably okay. I mean, a lot of the things have their own internal buffers. Like lasers have an internal buffer; they'll charge up and then be ready to fire. So I think it might be okay. I can fit in probably a few accumulators here. I've got a bit of space on this side, a bit of space on this side. I'm sure I can try and wiggle a few of them in, and it'll charge it up when it lands as well. Not that that'll last very long. Um, I have to admit I'm not 100% sure whether this is going to work, but the basic design seems somewhat promising. How do you feel about the integrity of my spaceship? Okay, so it's almost as big as it can be, but that's okay. Big is fine. Let's try and make some... speaking of big, let's try and make some accumulators. Presumably, it's going to take in normal accumulators and output better accumulators. So that's... Oh, have I not researched them, or do they just do they require a I have they require a manufactory. Okay, I should have guessed. And girders as well. Joy. And what about the Naquium? Yeah, not a chance. I'm miles off that one. Okay, lose that. Put another one of these. And one of these. And one of these. I want to make the exciting accumulators. Where are they? Are they not in? Yeah, there they are. Summon the stuff. Wire it up. Wires. Doot, doot. Accumulator is less than 5. 5. Press enter. There we go. How big are these? That's the other question. Oh, actually, they're not very big. I can put in, like, several. Like that. Just filling in the gaps across the top here. These will all charge up while we're up here in space at the station. Wow. That... Almost all of the accumulator storage on this in the station is from these. That's amazing. I'm also going to need some sort of system. Now, actually, here's a thought. Since I'm in space, how much fuel do I need to just sort of shuffle around a little bit? Could I fly this from here over to here without needing to put any fuel in it? Can it just drift? Oh, okay. That's a shame. But never mind. It's going to have to travel slowly. I think there's not a lot I can do about that. Yeah, because I can't. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to get any ion flux over to here. And yes, I can rip the whole thing up and back into my inventory and rebuild it somewhere else and sort of fuel it up there. But they can't drift around anymore. Okay, never mind. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to put in a thing here somewhere up top. Where's stone coming in? I thought it was coming in stone. Here we go. Okay, so I could probably pull stone out of here, run it up round the top here, and have a sort of a system for producing the ion stream around here. Oh, Hankerus. That's okay. I'm not using that at all. In 2 minutes. Yeah, but that's all right. I'm not. I say not using it. Don't care. Oh, it's called my spaceship, the Apparition. That's quite nice actually. I think I'll keep that. Keep that name. I like it. Yeah, plasma. No, ion stream. Ion stream comes from plasma and something, I think. Yeah, plasma stream and copper, and plasma come from stone and chemical gel. I almost want to just fly over here and tank it up from the from. I wonder if you can barrel ion stream. I mean, that'd be a ridiculous idea, but this is Factorio physics. It might be possible. No, no, you can't. Okay. It's almost as keeping it in a tank is pretty ridiculous, and having it in a barrel is probably even more so. Oh, yeah, I suppose that would be a bit of an obvious cheat. That's a shame. Oh well, never mind. So yeah, I'm going to need to get some ion. Well, I would need to get some ion stream over here, or perhaps just whack a rocket fuel engine on the back of it for temporary moving. Oh, but plasma. Okay, that's a start, I suppose. No, yeah, plasma canister. I'd need to make magnetic canisters. No, that's what. None of these are remotely possible. Actually, this one's remotely possible, but only very remotely. What is a superconductor? No, no, just no. Putting plasma canisters are not a realistic thing for me to make. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is just pull it apart, put it down somewhere else. Oh, can you? Okay, that's. I could bring it up here and fill it up. We've got very little rocket. We've got a little bit of rocket fuel up here. I could run a pipe. No, I'll. What I'm going to do is take the ship apart and put it back together again on the other side. Yeah, but the problem is that yes, the actual recipes you're supposed to use to make it were even harder, I think. Magnetic canister requires a battery, a superconductive cable, and a secure canister. To make a superconductor, hold me. Yeah, okay, that's not impossible. That is within the realms of manageable, just about manageable. But I think I would actually rather just fly it around and top it and rebuild it and then fly it around manually. What's blooping? No, okay, that's just a wall. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is pull up this thing. Oh, that's a pain. Have I successfully got all of? No, it's still in a bot area from this one. Pull up that one as well. Is that now it? I think so. I can't see any more Roboport. There's one. Oh, I'm nearly out of range of them all. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is make a blueprint out of that ship, including the tiles. What's that? Unknown item. Great. Create blueprint. Where's my blueprint? I don't trust this. There's my blueprint. Okay. And then I'm going to dismantle this by robot. So I just do that little bit at the top first. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Close enough. Then all the rest of it should be outside the bot area. Yes, it is. So pick up all of that and then use the deconstruction plan that I made. Here's one I made earlier. I think that's the right one. Yes, it is. To pick up all of that. The bots are going to steal some of it, but of course they are. They always do. Right, and now what I can do is I can rebuild the robot. No, rebuild the spaceship up here. I don't want to do it too close to here in case the other spaceship arrives and lands on top of it, because I'm pretty sure that's not going to be good for anything. It won't fit in that gap. It's just going to have to go right up here, I think. Fell off. No, that one. It's annoying that it leaves the deconstruction commands behind when it deconstructs something. Oh, but there we go. I'll do. Oh no, there's nothing there. Where's the pick things up on the floor? Is that it? Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's go and build me a spaceship. Or at least the floor plan of a spaceship. Oh, it fell off again. Welcome to another stream of Laurence falls off his spaceship. Nope. From the blueprint, which is that one. Put down there. Boom, spaceship. Right, so my fueling port for it is all the way up here, which is a bit of a shame. Let's keep hold of some of this. Flying in a straight line is also difficult. And some long pipe sections like that. Ooh. I like the flying system in this, but the physics is sometimes a bit weird and I get it wrong. Right. Now I can run this pipe up here, eventually. I say the physics is a bit weird. I don't actually mean that. I mean the physics is a bit too realistic. You start moving in one direction, you just keep drifting until you manage to find a way to stop yourself. So, yeah. Gloop. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need for sort of shuffling around a little bit, but it should be a good start. Is the ship finished? I think the ship's finished. These are fully charged, which is impressive. You integrity check. Yes, good. You guys. I don't think. Do you actually need no fuel to fly back down to? I do have the grappling gun mod. I've never bothered building one because most of the time the jetpack works pretty well, and I tend to be quite good about not running out of fuel for it. There was one occasion where I ran out of fuel and I happened to have landed on something and couldn't get off it, which was quite annoying. But generally it works pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to fly this down. No, I'm going to fly this over to the whatchamacallit area, energy science area. Oh, it could be handy. Yeah. Actually, what I want to do is make the door a bit wider. That's a good way of making it easier to get into the spaceship. And what I also want to do is put these roboports back now that I've finished playing silly buggers with the whatchamacallit, with my spaceship. So let's see, can I have some doors? How many more doors can I have? One. What are you short of? You're short of those. Low density structures. Is there something supposed to be bringing low density structures to this? No, I don't think there is. I think we have just simply run out. Oh. Alright, one extra door will have to be enough. I don't really care. Now, the impression I've got is that the ion engines are so efficient in the amount of ion flux they use that I don't really need to worry about or I almost don't need to worry about how much fuel I bring with me. This one tank should last me for approximately forever. It's the energy required to drive the drives and the energy required to produce the ion stream in the first place. That's the tricky part. So launch Novus orbit, please. Bing and anchor. Not there. Yes, I plan to take a little bit of fuel with me for going to Norvis. That's I have considered that. About here looks like quite a good place. This is where I'm making the ion stream. Whoop. Oh, 1 square out. That's pretty good. Oh, except I haven't got any ion stream because I haven't got any bloody water. Right. Let's have a look at frost again. See how the water's getting on. Jeez. Hang on, that must have launched. There's no way it could only have got that far so far, is there? Yeah, it must have launched because the liquid rocket fuel is only just filling up. Okay. Maybe that means that I've actually got water up here because I think this is the only place I'm shipping ice to. Yes, I have. Excellent. So it's coming down here to here. We're making water. Everything is hunky and everything is both hunky and dory. We are starting to make chemical gel again. There is like 18,000 in here. So that's nearly enough for a train. Yeah, okay, so things are going fairly well so far. I just need to come along here and whack a pump in here so this gets not priority as such, but doesn't accidentally get unloaded back out of the rocket ship again, spaceship again, because that would be bloody silly. And I don't know how long it's going to take to make 25,000 of it. That could be a while. I don't know if I need to fill this all the way up either. Oh, so how much do we get out of this? So we make 10 chemical gel makes 100 plasma stream, so it's multiplied by 10 there, and then here 100 plasma stream makes 100 ion stream. So in order to fill that up, we're going to need 2.5. We're going to need to push 2,500 chemical gel through these, which is a significant amount actually. But never mind. Yeah, I don't have any clamps anywhere yet for this ship. This ship I intend to basically use manually, so I'll just fly around and land it in the appropriate places myself. I could put some clamps in here. That's a fair point to make it a bit easier to land it in exactly the right place. I could do that. I haven't, but I could. I also should have looked at how much fuel was in these tanks before I took off, because it would have been interesting to see how much was used in that little shuffle. But never mind. Okay, while I'm waiting for this, I'm going to go and get some clamps because I might as well. Because I'm probably going to end up parking that ship there again in order to get the in order to get it refueled with the flux stuff. Clamps? You a clamp? No, you're a roboport. Why am I making roboports up here? Oh, personal roboports. That's why. Yeah, it's the launching is fine. It's just in case I need to fly across. I think you don't need any power to launch from space because you just sort of detach and drift off into the ether, and then you try and catch yourself afterwards using an ether net, no doubt. Sorry. Wait for one more robot. There we go. So was I actually? Maybe I wasn't making clamps through any sort of automated system. Maybe I was just doing that by hand because I only need 2 of them. Let's just make another 2 by hand. Clamp, docking clamps. Yeesh. That's a lot of stuff that's annoying to get hold of. Maybe maybe I just that's a reason why I might have decided to make them by automation. Okay, yeah, there are some somewhere. Oh, down there. There we go. That's what's making them. Okay, now I know. I'm glad you appreciate my sense of humour. Somebody has to. Alright, clampy time. So, let's see. Clamps become part of the edge of the ship. Clamps. Oh, they have a thing like trains where they only go every other square. That's really unhelpful. I wanted that space for important um, for for strategic solar panel purposes, but never mind. It might make more sense to have the door down here. Actually, it's a big flat broad side of the ship to jump into. Plonk. There we go. Okay, that's convenient. It's now powered from outside as well. I'm not sure I can. I think the spaceship might also be locked to the same 2 square grid as train systems are. So in the same way that you can't just move a station 1 square, or I think I probably won't be able to move. I don't think I can fly the spaceship a single square. But that's fine. This is all plumbed in now. Even if I had to do this ugly wiggle in the middle of it to get it to match up exactly. So yeah, not too bothered. How are we doing for the orange goo? Orange goo. Turn that off. 12,000. That's nearly enough. Um, no, no. It wouldn't let me put it. It wouldn't let me put it 2 squares further out. It has to be. Seems it has to have at least 2 squares underneath it. It seems to have spaceship tile under the back of it. So I can't move it out and put it here facing outwards. Not without extending the spaceship out a little bit at that point and having a sort of a bulbous clamping point on the front of it, which would be a little bit more than a little bit weird. Yeah, exactly. So I'd have to deconstruct the entire ship, and I can't be bothered to do that again. Not worth it. Okay, I am now just waiting for things to happen, which is not the right way to play this game, but it's I could go and put some speed modules in this, I suppose. No, it wouldn't help. There's not very much There's still not very much petroleum gas available. So how are we doing up here? That's got nearly all used up. So it looks like I need another one of these heavy crackers. Let's go and do that while I'm waiting. I might as well. Yeah, yeah, sounds like if you're sounds like you're at about the sort of the beginning of my series 2. So yeah, you're a couple of series away from doing from spaceships yet, really. At least if you play everything in the same order and at the same sort of speed that I did. There. Right. I've landed in a building. There we go. So now I need to bring this heavy oil down here. And this light oil I should put onto this belt. I don't mean belt, I mean pipe. That doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't. Oh, that was in case I put in another couple of these oil coal liquefaction machines. Okay, I'm not going quite as crazy as I thought it was. And then we're going to need water down here as well. That shouldn't be there. That should be there. Oh. All right. then link it all up with pipes. You should have everything you need. You don't have any heavy oil. I bet I've forgotten to put the one in the corner. Yes, there we go. Right. Pour that down there. We have a second machine now, hopefully. Yes, this is now... So we've got two cracking from heavy to light, two cracking from light to petroleum. And hopefully that'll mean I've got a bit more of a supply. Yeah, because it's just that one's full. That one's basically full. That one's basically empty. These are almost entirely empty. So, actually, maybe that... what are you running on? 24k. Oh! Let's set that down to 15. Alright, maybe I didn't need another one of those. It was just the the rate it was getting pumped. It was just this was sitting too excessively full, and one of those might have been enough. Oh well, never mind. What use? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, that should work. Okay, yeah, Bio 1 and Bio 2, if you have a reasonable idea what you're doing, perhaps because you've been watching some incredibly charismatic person playing on YouTube, it probably wouldn't take too long to do all of that. Like if I ran through this again, I'd probably be able to get the early stuff up and running reasonably quickly. It's the sort of the working things out when I have no idea how to do things. That takes all the time. Oops, overshot. Right, are we up and cooking with chemical gel up here, or did it go somewhere else that was requiring chemical? It went somewhere else that needed chemical gel. Oh bloody hell! Yeah, I know the feeling. If you've got far too many other things going on as well, then it makes it quite difficult to actually get any important Factorioing done. I just seem to recently. The only times I've been playing have been on my Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday night streams, because every other time seems to be filled up with something or other. Like I'm doing Mondays is Factorio Industrial Revolution. Tuesdays I need to make sure I put some videos together, perhaps for the GTA Manhunt stuff. Let's prioritize this a bit higher. Wednesdays I seem to be going kayaking at the moment, which is nice, very nice, but it takes up another evening. Thursdays, of course, I'm playing this. Fridays, I'm actually playing the GTA. And then the weekend, well, the pandemic is starting to sort of slow down a little bit, so my social life is starting to wake up, which is really, really nice. I've missed actually, seeing real people, but also on the flip side, it's takes up it takes up a bit more time, and then I've been and going off and doing other interesting sort of real world things as well. So. And then all the days, of course, are taken up by the job, and jobs number 2 and 3 also take up time. So yeah, it's just difficult to find time to play. So pretty much the only times I've been playing have been on stream. So you are actually getting to see pretty much the entire playthrough, and I think that's is that a good thing? I think it probably is. It means you're seeing everything as I do in order to try and make progress. But it does mean I can't go off and do the slightly more dull things off camera, as it were. I'm stuck doing it all on stream and having people watching, and me just sort of trying to chat away and keep it interesting while I'm waiting for these bloody tanks to fill back up again. Oh, I can't believe I went to a different station. That's really infuriating. I suppose I should just be glad this is the only place using ice and it came here automatically. Oh well. Right. Yeah. What else should I do? I could start thinking about another one of the sciences. I will. I'm not going to have to admit, I'm not going to play for that much longer. Maybe another half hour at most, and then that'll be bedtime for me, I think. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, I'm sure. You seem to be one of my. There's a sort of a half dozen names that I recognise that keep cropping up, who are obviously my most either most dedicated or most masochistic fans. So yeah, thank you to all of you who keep showing up, and I hope you carry on doing so. I'll be around and doing this for quite a long time, I'm sure. Yeah, there'll be plenty more of it. I just need to get this damn Ion stream up and running so I can fly my spaceship off somewhere. And that is, I believe, I'm pretty sure these are things that only work in space. So ion stream is something I'm going to need to build in space. Let's see. Cannot be placed on land. Yes. So can be placed on water? No, probably not. Can be so I can I can only produce the ion streams in space, which is a bit of a shame. But still, oh yeah. Oh, it's a shame. Well, the good news is at some point in less than a month, sometime mid-September, I'm going to have to do a massive upheaval and upending of when all of the streams happen. So basically, I'm going to start having rehearsals again for the next pantomime I'm doing. So that means that's going to take up my Mondays and Wednesday nights. So this is going to leave me with even less time. And Mike can't make Tuesday nights. He's one of the people who's playing Industrial Revolution. So that means Industrial Revolution is probably going to end up on Thursdays. And so space exploration is going to get bumped across to Tuesdays because, I mean, if he can't make it, then it's less of a problem. I mean, he won't be able to watch it, but c'est la vie. He's not needed for actually producing it. So yeah, space exploration is probably going to be Tuesday. Mondays and Wednesdays will have to be videos or something. Thursdays will probably be Industrial Revolution, with maybe maintaining Fridays for GTA recording. And that's going to go on till at least January, or essentially until another reason crops up to shuffle things around. So yeah, I'm afraid you'll miss out on Industrial Revolution, but at least you'll be able to get space exploration. And whether that's the way around you want it to be, I suspect it is the way around you want it to be, because I recognise your name very much from all of the space exploration stuff, but not so much from the Industrial Revolution. So I suspect that's probably a good thing from your point of view. Come on. I feel like I should start doing something else while I wait for this to fill up, like maybe thinking about another one of the sciences. I could go and have a look at Material Science 3. That could be interesting. Bum bum bum. Oops. Let's move the correct thing. I said what? Yeah, this one. Right. Oh no, that is material. Oh yes, there's material 2 with the trains that go into it. Then we have material 3, so I'm going to need lube, which I'm already using. That I don't know where that arrow is supposed to be going. Oh, the arrow is probably supposed to be going into there instead of that one. I obviously need to fix the diagram there a little bit. Sorry, let's use an actual mouse. That arrow there is probably supposed to be going into here because that does require lube, but then I put this one in as well. So I should probably fix that on the diagram. Anyway, so it requires lube, iridium, which I've already got, iron, which I'm sure is probably already in that area. I don't know. Uranium might not be. Iridium definitely is. This isn't too bad. Yeah, this looks faintly manageable. So let's head down and have a bit of a look at that while we wait for the rocket to fill up again. I don't mean the rocket, I mean the chem gel. So that's gonna be. Is it straight down here or is that Astro? No, I think that's Astro. It's going to be over this way for material. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we do have iron. No, that's not iron, that's concrete. We have steel. Do we have a second station dropping stuff off? We do have a second station dropping off stuff off with lots and lots of space on it. And we do have iron as well. Excellent. Right. Oh, of course, I dumped most of this out of my inventory, so I don't have very much space scaffold, so I'm not going to get very far with this. Oh. Okay, so first step. Material catalog 3. We need friction data, which means I'm going to have to make these heavy bearings, which are made out of iridium plate and lubricant. And, oh, I didn't check what they were made in. Oh, just in a space assembly machine. Easy. Good. So that's going to require iridium, which is this one. This is going to require an enormous chunk of this. There's lube there. So let's just put that there. There. Am I going to have enough? No. Oh. Fill the gap in. There we go. Right. So this one I want to make the heavy bearings, which are presumably in here. Yes, there we go. And that takes iridium plate, which I've got plenty of. From here. Oh, goodness sake. I can never make something sensibly sensible, can I? Ooh, put that there to keep the... I mean, that should be... What? Oh, yeah, that should... Yeah, no, that's... No, this is a narrow... This is narrower than it should be. Never mind, I don't care. Goes there, and then we have a couple of underneath these for that, for whenever something else comes through along here. Right, and then the next thing was the lube. That's up here. Yes, there we go. Get some long pipes in there. Bring this further down. That's going to need to branch out here. Here. Because it's going to need the room for the underneath the pipes for it to go underground. Or, actually, no, better idea. No, that's a worse idea. I was going to bring it along the top of here, but there wouldn't be room to do that and have inserters, so I can't do that. That's going to have to just be a pipe along there, and then underground belts, underground pipes like this. I don't know if I'm even going to need this many bearings. This might be massive overkill, but you know, no such thing as overkill. Only open fire and time to reload. Boink. And inserters. Right. Does much use these bearings in the world of science? Heavy bearings. Because it occurs to me that if they're used for making some stuff like deep space transport belts and heavy assemblies, that's probably going to be another thing I need for science, maybe? I don't know. There's a fair amount of stuff that uses them, so I'm going to try and leave a position, leave space on the. Oh, and then okay, yeah. Let's leave them on the sort of the internal bus here for future use. Then we can bring them in here, and this is when I've run out of floor, so I can't go on and put in the next thing, which would be the what was it? The making the actual friction data, which is going to require material testing packs and heavy bearings and data cards and more lubricant again. I should have brought the lubricant. If I'd thought about this, I'd have brought the lubricant in across the bottom and used it for both things off the same pipe. I'm not sure that can be bothered. Let's be lazy and do that and that. Oh. There we go. Close enough. Good enough. The other side, yeah, and the other side of this belt, then can be the other side of this belt can be one of the other inputs that's required for this particular science pack, and then I'm going to need the big material crushing mechanical facilities along here to produce the actual data packs. How are we doing for that orange goo that I've been waiting for? Yeah, 20 nearly. I don't really want to carry on building this because it's just going to be filling my inventory up with a load of stuff that I don't want for where I'm about to go to. And then that'll annoy me and be a faff to deal with. Let's just bring some of that goo over manually. So, oh, where's my fluid strain? Where's my fluid strain gone? What's it transporting that's so important? Oh. Something is wrong. Why is something wrong? Groan. Yeah, I don't think I could fit an entire factory on that asteroid. Why, Delilah? Why has this gone wrong? So you're supposed to be requesting when you've got when you've got below minus 10,000, and there is a subtraction of, no, so there's minus 10,000 on there. So are these both linked together? And so there should be about 40,000. No, these are not all linked. What? Oh, there's a cable missing in there. Is that? Oh, that'll be from when I pulled up. Damn it. That'll be from when I pulled up those other tanks earlier and I didn't link that back in there somehow. I guess I'm just going to have a bit more of this up here than I really wanted to, but it's something that's gradually used up, so I don't feel too bad about this. Only slightly bad. There we go. And then I can link that one up as well. And then we should see here, yes, we've got 67,000, so that's oodles. Oh no, there's another train. Oh, for goodness sake. I find my LTN setups are great until they're not. Then they just all go catastrophically wrong. As long as I don't make as long as I don't make any mistakes, it all works nicely. But when I start making mistakes, then everything breaks, and I get very, very sad about it all. Oh, there we go. Please tell me there aren't any more trains coming out here, because we've now got like 100,000 warm thermofluid. Right. What was I going to do? Yes, I was going to send that one. Let's remember to shift click this time to go to the chemical gel pickup until I'm going to say full, just so it doesn't do too much while I'm trying to program it. And then to chemical gel drop off for energy science until empty. I do like how fast pumps will fill trains up. That's really impressive. Is that going to get to near practically full? Is it actually going to get to full? I think it might. Oh, not quite. No, that'll do. It's close enough. It's more than I was expecting to get. I was expecting to get about 20,000. That looked more like 24. Oh, I couldn't read. Yeah, it is actually 24. Wow, my estimation skills are apparently rather good. All right, come on, let's get this chemical gel in so that I can get the ion stream made, so I can get this rocket, this spaceship fueled up, and hopefully get things going and exciting, and move on to other all equally exciting planets. And then realise that I've probably put the fueling port on the wrong side of this for where I'm going to land it on Norvis, but never mind. Okay, how are you doing? Not very. Are these just? Oh, these are. Yeah, a lot of it's going into the engines. That's probably acceptable. Now, would it be considered cheating to disconnect the pipe at the end of here, like that, just so that it all goes into the spaceship for now? And the thing is, I don't know how. I've been told, and I fully believe that the amount of ion stream you need to get places is very, very small indeed. So I don't think I need to put a huge amount into this spaceship, but I do want. But I don't know what efficient and quite effective, and you don't need a huge amount, and so on and so forth, really means, because it's not something I've tried yet. That said, it's filling up reasonably quickly, so once we've got a bit more in there, we can start thinking about putting that piece of pipe back in and letting the science actually happen, and working from there. I'm starting to wonder if I need more chemical gel to be being produced. So this this petrochem facility down here is, to be honest, is doing really, really well. given that I just chucked in something fairly small with one of each machine and didn't really think too carefully about it when I was setting it up. And it's pretty much keeping up with the demands of the factory, or at least it has been until fairly recently. And that was the real reason I had the problems was because the ice supply ran out. So in the steady state, it does seem to be about sufficient. However, it is possibly getting a little to the point where it's struggling a little bit, and maybe I need to come down here and put in some of these beacon things. If I could squeeze one in between these two machines, that'd be nice, but I haven't left enough space for that. In fact, that would be perfect if I could get it in there, so it was covering all of these machines. What's it even on? Oh, it's on the yeah. It's slightly too tall, and it's hitting this machine. Which I could move up one square with a little bit of faffery. Maybe that would be worth doing, because then I could just shove this in here. It'll get everything except the thermofluid generation. So that could be quite good. Yeah. Oh. Oh no. I thought I saw low power. I didn't. I think I saw low. I think I actually saw low oil, which is more understandable. Okay, 15,000. How far is it to Where's I even going? Oh, I was only going to go to the moon, so I don't need very much fuel for that. So I think I'm going to call this enough because I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Link that back up. Got 17,000. So from here, I want to fly to Norvis. This is going to be our shakedown voyage. Let's run another integrity check just to be sure. Yep, that seems to be good. Now, is there anything I want to take with me? If I'm going off to set up an oil supply system, is there anything I need from space before I go? And the answer is yes. I'm going to need some wide area beacons. Ooh, can wide area beacons be used on the ground? Let's find out. There they are. Yes. So that for example, cannot be placed on land or spaceship. That one has no restrictions. Okay. So yes, I want to grab a few of those because I want to just make fuel quickly and efficiently. So beacons are definitely going to be the way to go for that. Down here, nope, overshot. I'm going to need a massive quantity of oil derricks. Ion boosted. Oh, there's an ion booster tank as well, is there? Okay. Why was I not aware of this? Why had I not notice this rather? For some reason, I thought I was. I don't see an ion booster tank. Oh, is that it? And there's an antimatter boost tank. There isn't an ion boost tank, apparently. So yeah, that'll have to wait until I discover antimatter. Right, so I want to have lots of... Do I even have a request? I do have a request for these. Let's say 20 of these. Seems excessive, but we'll see how we get on with that. Oh, it happened just instantly. All right, I didn't even... I noticed one bot fly in and drop something off. I didn't notice all the rest of them. So cool, that's that. So what am I going to be putting together? There's going to be an area that will have lots and lots of oil drills, but they're made on Norvis, so I'll pick them up from there. There's going to be a massive quantity of fuel processing, so that's going to require the oil refineries, chemical plants, and fuel refineries, but all of those are made on Norvis as well, so I can get all of them from down there. I've got quite a lot of... I've got like 51 pylon substations, so I can use them in the build as well. That's fine. That's going to be nice and easy. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be everything I need. I'll pick up all the modules down there. I'm not going to use tier greater than 3 modules. I'm just going to stick with tier 3 modules everywhere because those are the ones that don't require anything exotic, and I can just build them on Norvis as well. I am on a slightly old version, yes, because there was something in one of the upgrades that was going to break a lot of stuff that I'd done. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but there was definitely something that would have broken enormous quantities of stuff, and I didn't want to have to rebuild it. I think it was one of the recipes have been... Oh yes, it was the it was mining iridium. Now in the latest version requires the big miners, and because I've already got a facility set up doing that mining, I didn't want to change. So yeah, I'm on a slightly old version, which is a bit of a shame because it sounds like there are some nice things in the newer versions, but oh well, c'est la vie. Eep, there we go. Right, let's go to Norvis. Launch time. Blip. Let's fly to Norvis and see how fast we go. Pew 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 pew. Oh, we're here. Travel time 0 seconds at maximum speed. Great. That's pretty quick. Okay, I don't want to anchor up there. I want to anchor down here where there is lots and lots of fuel available. Here. Come on, down. No, still further down. Over here, right over here. This way, this way, this way, this way. A bit more this way. Like I said, I put the filler cap on the wrong side of the ship. Although that said, it wouldn't help very much. Anyway, I'll land here. What happens to all the things I land on? Are they just going to get destroyed? Bink. There we go. Right, launch is disabled because I have no fuel. That's fair. Cool, it's weird having to run around rocks and trees again. Put that there. That there. Oh, nuts. It's weird having to break up trees as well, rather than just, punching your way through, rather than just putting down massive areas of, whatchamacallit, scaffolding. Gloop. That's going to need a pump in it, actually, isn't it? Because otherwise it's just going to drain to fill. Oh, it's going to need a pipe there as well. What I was actually trying to say is it's just going to drain to get all of these to the same height, so I'm going to need to put a pump in. Is that actually passing through? Those are not going up. Oh, so I took this piece of pipe out here. Right, let's stop being an idiot and just get that pump in there and have things start working. Where are my pump? Why can I? There they are. Is there a big pylon in range of anything? There we go. Right, pumping time. So this is my fueling station for my spaceship. I didn't check the pointiness of it actually. Oh, streamline is 100%. Okay, that is a sufficiently pointy ship. That's all right then. So we'll fill that up. We've somehow got 25,000 ion stream now. So we've either used literally none. Actually, I say literally none. There's a tiny bit missing off the end of the bar. If I look really closely, I can just see a couple of pixels missing. So that's good. I'm running off internal power, but that's not really a problem because I'm not using very much power. These are filling up nicely. Good. It's just occurred to me I didn't make a ship suitable for bringing the fuel back from Asalia, but I think that's going to be the next sort of step, the next thing I do. So what I'm going to need for this trip, actually what I need to do is save the game and have a play around in creative mod for a little while and try and build up a system of producing infinite amounts of or producing massive quantities of fuel and make sure I get the proportions correct. So let's save the game here. Actually, it's 20 past 10, so I'm not gonna start that now. I think it's a bit late for that really. So what I'm going to do instead is actually probably nothing. I'm probably going to end the stream quite soon. Why are you out of power? That's weird. And it's got... Oh, it's because... Are the engines... Hang on, the engines are still pulling 1 megawatt, even though they're not doing anything. That's a bit cheeky. And a bit annoying. I mean, Yeah, I suppose I could. What I need to do here actually is put down another one of these and link it to the. That's the wrong way around, isn't it? What I need to do is put down another one of these and have it linked to the base power, so we'll run off. So we'll just keep the ship charged off that. But it seems a bit cheeky that these things are using a megawatt between them when they're not actually doing anything. That's with minimum consumption. It says so. No, the minimum consumption is 333 kilowatts, so they will, between the three of them, they will use a megawatt even when they're idle, unless I deliberately cut power to them. Which, to be honest, maybe I should be doing. I could get rid of this pylon here and replace it with a normal substation that would just get this area and then have a switch and so on down here and only power these when the signal says we're in space. But I can't be bothered. I think my base can probably survive providing an extra megawatt out of the the 1.1 gigawatts it's currently chewing through. Okay, those are nearly full. I'm trying to think. What was I thinking about? I'm sure there was something else I was talking about. So let's put in my to-do list up here. Let's make a new entry. Oh, actually, let's have a look through here. What have we been doing? Rocket fuel supply. That's kind of done. I'll check on that in a second. Oh yeah, that's true. Because you can put them directly on things, can't you? And then presumably those things will only be powered by that pole. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Extra green cloud making, done that. Finish making energy 3, done that. Rocket science unloading station. Have I really not done that? Apparently not. Tidying up junk, but it needs to be done. Yeah, so okay, done those things. Norvis, rocket survived, ran. Done that. So the next one is Asalia. Is that even how you pronounce it? I think there might be another E there. Okay, so that's my new place that I'm going. I'll take that because nobody else is going to do any of this stuff. And on here I need to build fuel refinery to liquid. So that means I need to design the refinery in creative mod. Oops. Get all the stuff in my spaceship. Go to the planet, build the bloody thing, get it flowing. Build fuel transport spaceship. So it's going to be it's going to be another one of these. Very, very similar design. It's not going to have the warehouse in it. It's probably going to be significantly longer or possibly wider. Maybe I'll take it down to only 2 ion engines because I won't be, or maybe only 1 because I'll only need. I won't care if the ship moves a bit more slowly if it's only transporting fuel around, as long as it moves fast enough for that. So I can, yeah. And if it's only going between Asalia and Norvis orbit, in fact, one of these is massive overkill for that. It's just such a short distance, and it's never going to go flying all the way out to Frost. So it will then only need, let's say, 4 of these solar panels. So actually, I think I can keep the ship about the same sort of size and just fill it up completely with these rocket booster tanks. That should work quite nicely, and then I'll be able to have a massive quantity of fuel being flown from Asalia to Norvis orbit. And I think, actually, I can complete. I was going to say I need to make sure I put one of the tanks in such a way that it doesn't get drained when the spaceship arrives. But actually, I don't think it'll matter because taking off from orbit doesn't require any fuel, and when it takes off from Asalia, it will always be completely full almost by default. Oh, true. Yeah, I could just put a rocket booster on the back of it for the sake of simplicity, couldn't I? Oh, that's less fun. But it's a better idea. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then I'll leave one fuel tank as the fuel tank for the ship, and the rest of them just as being fuel tanks for carrying stuff for the back and forth. Yeah, yeah, that works. That is a more sensible way to do it, really. There's just something fun about setting up the ion drives. Hi, Mark. I'm afraid you've joined just as I'm about to finish. That's really unfortunate timing, but yeah. Yes, I'm afraid so. It's got to the point where the next thing I need to do is going to be switching over to creative mod and doing a massive design of an oil refinery. So that's going to be quite a big time-consuming thing, and so I'm not going to start that at 20 past 10. It's basically it's nearly bedtime for me. But I've been thinking about, okay, so I'm going to wind up now, and this means I'll just start talking about what I've been doing, what I've got planned for the future, and so on. So to be honest, if you've watched the stream all the way through, this is going to be a bit sort of I'm not going to say repetitive, because I'll probably talk about it in slightly more summary kind of way, and hopefully it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'll talk about what I've done so far. So as usual, I spent most of the episode up here in orbit, and I tidied up, did a bit of tidying up around the energy science, because I've now got energy science 3 being produced, at least in theory. We've only got well, actually this is recovering. That's going quite well. Yeah, exactly. I do tend to waffle a bit and get distracted and go, oh, I should fix that before I do anything else, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not going to deny it. I do tend to go on a little bit. So as part of getting that working, I put in a load more of these plasma generators and space for a few more of them down here, and some more particle accelerators making the ion streams. And that allowed me to make more of these, more of these green cloud generators, and that's then goes on yada yada yada, making the science packs and so on to make data cards to make the science packs. Once that was going, I was then able to come over here. I carried some of the packs over, the catalogs over manually by hand, so they're being fed in here. We're making the tier 3 science, as you can not see, because we've run out of solenoid. Oh, solenoids are being made slowly, so that's the thing I'll need to have a look at, speed that up a bit, because we're not making these as fast as I would like. But I then also put in the belts here that are delivering these event somewhere. There's some delivering these all the way over to here, where they're being put into the into the system, onto the sushi belt. And are they flowing around? No, I think I've just run out of them completely. So they've all got used up. But I'd say yeah, so solenoids are slowing that down a bit. It turned out the reason the science was being made a bit slowly was also because the chemical gel here was these tanks would basically run dry, and that, it turned out, was because over here there was a huge shortage of chemical gel being made by these going into these tanks and being made down here. As usual, in the going back up all the way back up the tree, it turned out it was because I'd run out of ice, and that was because I'd run out of rocket parts out on Frost, and that was because I hadn't set up a drop-off point for that. So this is now, well, we haven't had a second rocket come in here because there isn't any in here. So there is obviously a second rocket on Frost still filling up, but I do have a decent amount of ice here, so that I'm gradually working my way through. So that seems to be okay. And if we have a look out on Frost, because I'm thinking about it, we'll see that yes, the ice is flowing through steadily. It's being loaded into the rocket. The rocket is fully fueled now, so once this fills up completely, and it's 2/3 full roughly, it'll launch happily and bring some more up to orbit. So I think this is going to be okay. The problem is fixed. All of these rockets are ready, built, and most of them are filled. It's just the ice one that's gradually filling up, and the glass one as well. So yeah, that's all okay. It's fixed. We just need to wait for it to sort of trickle through as the stuff generally does. The next thing I did was I thought, right, it's time to have a bit more of a play with spaceships while I'm waiting for this to all finish. So I built up this new ship here, and this one is designed to be a sort of a planet hopper. So I can take this one this one's sort of a personal transport ship, which is why it doesn't have any of the automation stuff in that you saw me doing last week. It's got a big warehouse at the top here for me to put all the stuff in for building up whatever system I end up deciding I need to build wherever I go. And then we've got a load of power. We've got a load of solar panels to keep the ion engines running, because ion engines are really, really power hungry. And this should allow me, if I go all the way out, even if I go all the way out to Frost orbit, to keep one of my ion engines ticking over. And so the ship should be reasonably quick. And I've put 3 ion engines on the back of it because I intend to fly around in it myself, and I'm really impatient. I then needed to fuel that up, so I managed to squeeze a little. I moved it. I built it over here, which is why there's some random little bits of this left. Fueled it up, then used that fuel to flit over to here, where I fueled it up off the plasma, off the ion stream that's being generated by the science system over here. This is really just a temporary thing. I don't intend to use this long term. At some point, I'm going to build up some more basically this sort of thing again over in a. To be honest, I might actually just build up a whole new spaceport, a new fantastic place to land, because this one is actually great. It works fine. I just want to gradually move away from rockets. And so if I just come in here and pull up stop each one of these individually when I get a spaceship port that will do the same, then I can just use LTN and train somewhere else to get that working. So that should be okay. I then did a little bit more. What did I do then? Yeah, so that was basically where I got to now. I've flown back down here with my new spaceship, and I've fueled it up with a large quantity of rocket fuel from here where I've got plenty of it. So this is now generally happy. Once I've got my design, I can load up all the stuff I need for Asalia into this warehouse, fly off there. So the plan is to go to, as I say, to Asalia, if I can find it. And the reason I've chosen Asalia is because it's the smallest oil planet. It's only got a diameter of 958 units, meters, whatever the units are. Kilometers, who knows? And it's an oil planet. It's got loads of oil on there. So the plan is they'll flit out here, and I'm going to actually view the surface now. It doesn't have any biters, which is also a bonus. View surface, please. There we go. And we should find some enormous oil patches like this one here. Go to map mode. 4,000% from that one, and that's quite close to the origin point. Let's explore a bit more. Ideally, I'd like to find a uranium supply as well. That would be lovely. It's probably not going to happen, but it would be nice. Oh, and the other thing is with spaceship. Oh, here's one. Here's a uranium patch. Excellent. Oh, is there going to be iron? I'm going to need iron as well to make the sulfuric acid to mine the uranium. There's copper. I'm not going to need much of these these extra things. My computer is running very slowly. Ooh, that's a big oil patch. And that's the edge of the planet as well. This is, as I said, is quite a small one. So I might actually run out of... Well, I'm not going to run out of space, but I might run out of places to explore to. Oh, there's some iron. Right, perfect. So we've got a 14,500% oil patch here. We've got some iron and some copper. Iron particularly I'm going to need to make the sulfuric acid to mine the uranium, which is right up here. There's some iridite, I don't care about that. There's some more oil over here. There's another big patch up here, which is another 12,000%. So these are some really sizable oil patches. So the plan is for next time is to get all of the stuff I need into the spaceship, fly out here, probably. And the great thing that's just occurred to me about spaceships is instead of doing the rocket thing where it just crash lands somewhere randomly on the planet, and you go, okay, great, now I have to walk with all of this stuff back to find civilization or back to where I wanted to start building. With this, I can just tell it to land here, for example, and as long as I bring along a load of landfill, this might be quite a good place to go because, as I said, there's loads of oil here, there's loads up here, these are quite close by, there's uranium, there's iron, there's everything I need in this sort of small area. So I think this is going to be a great place to start building. And then I can build, as I was saying, another spaceship that will just fly here, fill up with rocket fuel, and then fly off to orbit and unload it there. I may decide at some point it's worth bringing oil up there as well, to move away from the system I've got where I'm refining coal into all of the hydrocarbon-based stuff. But to an extent, the coal stuff is working, so I'm tempted not to mess around with it and just leave it as it is. So I think that's probably good as it is. So that's my plan for next time. The ion stream, well, there's a full tank of it here almost, so that should be plenty of fuel to get me out there. A warehouse should be plenty of space to put all of the stuff in I need. But even if it isn't, I've got loads of I've got a reasonable amount of rocket fuel in here. That's going to be easily enough to take off from Asalia again, even if I don't get the refinery built up there. So I reckon I can fly back and forth to Norvis much more easily than I could when I was doing it all with rockets. So this is going to be quite good fun. I'm looking forward to trying this. So, Mark, spaceship engine that efficient at launches from planets. There are two ways of getting off a spaceship off a planet, as far as I can tell. One is using these booster tanks that use rocket fuel, and they use a significant chunk of it. As you can see, it's going to take me... Oh. 2 booster tanks are not enough fuel to get me off Norvis. That's a problem. Ah, crap. How am I going to get another booster tank down here? Can I build boost? What do you need? What do you build booster tanks in? Oh dear. I might have a problem here. They are built in. Well, they're built in anything. But I need to get hold of some aeroframe scaffold. That's going to be the hardest part of this. But I think I can do that. Okay, I'm going to need to make another booster tank, because 2 of these is not enough to take off from Norvis, because it's a big fat planet. And perhaps it's a big fat spaceship as well. That might be a part of the reason. So I'm going to have to do a bit of redesigning around here to try and squeeze everything. Try and squeeze an extra one of these booster tanks in and launch with that. I think what I'll do is I'll move these accumulators over here. I can move the door down here and then squeeze in another tank here, but it's going to get in the way of these solar panels. So yes, a bit of shuffling is going to be required. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with this, but it's going to be a bit of a headache. Yes, so there's 2 ways to take off. One is to use these spaceship booster tanks, and you can also use antimatter boost tanks, which I believe are basically the same, but they use antimatter fuel instead of rocket fuel. So they're presumably a lot more powerful, a lot more efficient, just a lot more. But I haven't researched those yet. They're way off they're a few tech levels away from where I am at the moment. So it's going to have to be these, and I'm going to have to find a way of. I'm going to have to play Tetris with all this stuff in my spaceship and just shuffle things around until I can get everything in there that I need in order to take off. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, taking off from Norvis, harder than I realised. On that happy note, I'm going to end this episode. I shall see you all next week. I'm still going to be still be Thursdays next week, I believe. I don't think I'm going to do the big schedule change I was talking about until at least until early September. But until then, well, as always, thank you for watching. Why not watch some of my other videos while you're waiting for me to while you're waiting for the next stream? There's GTA videos coming out a couple of times a week where various friends and family members try and hunt me down and shoot me in the head. There's some skiing videos, which absolutely tragically I've not had a chance to make any new ones of recently, because for some reason I've not been able to go skiing this year. It's a great shame. Hopefully I'll be able to go next year. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. What's next? Come on, video, play faster. I don't think I have a way of fast forwarding this, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I used to play some Black Mesa. That was quite good fun. This was the remake of the original Half-Life using the Source engine, the engine from Half-Life 2. I got quite a long way through that, and then I realised I'm actually not very good at first-person shooters. And there was a bit within a sort of a small and crowded room where there were lots of soldiers trying to all pouring in from all over the place, and there wasn't any good cover that you could take. So I'm not going to say I rage quit from that. I just sort of started to struggle and kind of gave up. I do track days whenever I get the chance as well, although I do need to get a new car at this point. My current one is a big pile of rust and no longer road legal, so that's a bit of a shame. Most frustrating thing is I only just had the clutch replaced a few months ago, and the engine rebuilt not very long ago. So, but maybe that'll make it worth something, even though it's falling apart. But yeah, track days are great fun. I need to do more of that. What's this? This is Industrial Revolution, isn't it? So yes, on Mondays, myself, Giant Lobster, who you'll have seen commenting a few times during this video, and a couple of our other friends play Industrial Revolution 2. Things are going quite well in that. It's weird. There's an enormous number of steps that go into making absolutely everything that you do in this mod pack. So it feels like a bit of you're drowning in options as you're building things, but it's good fun, and we are definitely making progress. My cycling has. I've not done so much cycling this year, and I've not made any cycling videos, but I have started going out kayaking instead. So at some point, I'm going to get around to whacking a GoPro on the front of my kayak and getting some videos from that. So maybe that'll be interesting as well. We'll see. We've got some quite pretty scenery around here, so I think a view from the river will be quite nice, and that'll be good fun to go out and make something new. Oh, and of course, there's this little mod that you might have heard of called Space Exploration. So I'm trying to do between 1 and 2 videos a week of this, depending on how much stuff I've managed to get done. Sometimes it's a bit hard to stretch a 3-hour stream session out into 2 videos because I've not accomplished enough. But there's always something to talk about, so they're going to come out at least once a week. And of course, there's the stream, which is currently on Thursdays. And I've got a few ideas of things I want to do with my DIY stuff as well. But again, I don't know, life has been a bit too full, so I've not been able to settle down and do a big DIY project. I do want to actually stream one of these at some point and just have a couple of cameras up and running, or a couple of phones running as cameras perhaps, while I work on something, and people can heckle me and tell me I'm going to cut my foot off or something like that. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Maybe next time I have some free time at a weekend and it's not raining, I'll try and get that. I'll try and get that sort of stream, and we can have a real life stream going on. That'll be weird. Anyway, the video is now looped all the way around and we're back to GTA, and I'm not going to advertise that again because I've already talked about it. So, as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and don't forget to check everything else out. See you later.